Testing 1, 2, 3. People who are here during the intro. ASMR with BSJ. Okay. Dark Horse with the sub. Thank you, sir. Fell behind for a second. We have a YouTube video coming out, so was coming up with a title for it. Okay, we're about a minute or two late to start the class. Oh, I just realized my class can hear me. But that's okay. Wasn't trying to make it so you couldn't. Okay, we've got one question from Gazu and 2 submissions today. So that's what's on the docket for today's class. Gazu's here first. So let's just go ahead and get started. Start recording. I'll call you up, Gazu. Yo.
Yo, what's up?
Not much, my man. Not much. Somebody added me in this chat. I mean, you used a term yesterday for 1 second. Sorry, you used a term yesterday that you can't react to, so you have a built-out tank it. I can't remember the term. I mean, I might have said unavoidable damage, maybe. Okay, so your question, Gazu, was about Solar Crest as a support. You were thinking about under what conditions would I optimally buy this item? You virtually never buy it. I feel like the opportunity cost is high, and it doesn't really help me / too reliant on teammates. So, you know, I'm going to share my screen with you guys before I forget to do that, because I almost forgot. Oops. You know, let's just take a quick gander at the item itself. I think it's always good to just break down exactly what an item does. So one thing we'll all notice when we look at Solar Crest is that it's 2,500 gold. So it's like a pretty similar cost to like Spirit Vessel, to stuff like Mech, which, you know, Mech, I say it's similar, but you always have to go Mana Boots with Mech. So that's kind of like a conditional thing. It's similar to something like Yule's, Ether Lens, Glimmer Cape. Like all these items are around, you know, 2,100 to 2,600 for staff. So overall, Solar Crest is a pretty comparable item in terms of cost to most other support items that people will go early on in the game. Maybe a bit more expensive than something like drums. But what's really nice about Solar Crest compared to a lot of these items is that the components themselves do a lot. So Windlace is always nice, a casual Windlace, super nice build up there. And then Pavis as an item, like you're halfway to your Solar Crest, it already does something. It gives you mana, gives you health, and it has an active. And the active absorbs 250 physical damage, which at that stage in the game is a lot when you were to get it. So it's really important to note that one thing about Solar Crest is it's kind of an item that kind of consistently ramps up your power. You're buying a Windlace after you get your upgraded boots. You're buying, you know, the Pavis for 1,400 gold. So it's kind of similar to drums in the sense that around 1,500 gold, you have like a meaningful item. And then on top of that, like when we look at the Solar Crest itself, it gives a little bit of everything. And that's just really nice. It's kind of like a jack of all trades sort of item. You're getting some armor, you're getting some all stats, move speed, mana, health. These are all really nice things on almost every hero in the game. But what you'll notice is it doesn't do one thing particularly. Like that's a really important aspect of this item. So I would consider this item to be somewhat similar to like the Yasha of carries. It's like carries move faster, they attack faster, and that feels really good as a carry because Yasha itself doesn't actually like do anything for you, but it feels really good to move faster and to attack faster and to do a bit more damage if you're an agility hero. So Solar Crest for me, it's like it is a really feels good item in and of itself on the hero you're playing, but it doesn't solve any specific problems. So if there's like a hero you have to Glimmer Cape, you have to Force Staff. You guys have no stuns, so you have to buy an Atos. You need to dispel something with a Yule's. It's like, I need an item that does something specific. If I don't need an item that does something specific, Solar Crest is broken in the sense that it gives you so much, but then when cast on your teammates, it also gives them armor, 60 attack speed, and 15% movement speed, and 300 physical damage barrier, which is great for sieging buildings, especially like tier 1 towers, tier 2 towers. And it's great on carries that do a lot of damage, but don't have a lot of attack speed. So an example would be Sven. Like, I always try to build Solar Crest if I'm a support for Sven, because that hero has really high damage, but he really lacks attack speed in his items. Other heroes might be like Monkey King, or any ranged turret hero is usually good to have a Solar Crest for. Lunas, Medusas, Terrorblades, Gyrocopters, SF, like these heroes that are reliably either the 50 attack speed will be massive for them, or is it 60? It's 60. The 60 attack speed will be massive for them, or they'll just be able to stand there and reliably utilize it. That's how I view Solar Crest. Is there anything about my definition that didn't answer a question you have?
No, I think that helps me a lot.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I think that kind of is along the lines of what I've been thinking. I feel like most of the time I always want something that does something. But it's like I could definitely recognize the situations when that's not the case, and I probably ought to be buying this instead of.
I think the biggest part about it is, do my spells do anything or do their job if I don't have an item to enable them? Whether that's specifically to keep me alive or whether or not that's like a cast range item. Like, I think supports that give Solar Crest are usually like Hoodwink, Snapfire. Like they have like long range castable spells that don't necessarily do anything with a setup item or like with an extra item. Hero like Warlock is a great example. Disruptor potentially. The only thing about Disruptor is you'll potentially want to rush Ags, but that's pretty greedy a lot of the time. Enchantress, Lich, heroes that either buff up their teammates or their spells kind of just do their job for them. But if you think of a hero like Rubik, very unlikely for him to go Solar Crest. He needs like Ether Lenses and Blink Daggers and stuff like this, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe part of my problem is I'm playing a lot of the heroes that are more like that kind of want greedy, selfish items.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth considering these this like a hero that would utilize these sort of items. Yeah. Or it's just considering that maybe this isn't the type of item for your type of playstyle.
I think it could be a little bit of all of that.
Yeah.
But it definitely is like good to think about it as the components are more value because, when you compare it to like Glimmer, it's like you can get some value out of Shadow Amulet, but not much,
Yeah.
But Force Staff is even worse. But I'm thinking like, okay, once I get the item, it's better. But the buildup has value too.
Yeah,
and there's situations where I just don't need those kind of items, and I'm playing with a carry that would benefit from it. And it's kind of been a question I ask because, like I said, I virtually never buy it. I kind of ignore it, and on paper, it's obviously good. It gives you a bit of everything. The active is great. So I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe there's something I'm missing, some things I'm not thinking about where I probably ought to be buying it more than zero.
That makes sense. I think it's overall a good question to have. Yeah, that makes sense, man. It seems like I can tell you just based on your description, you've put a lot of thought into this, so it's good to hear, man. Did you have any other questions about this subject, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. I'm going to boot you. Okay. That was a nice swift boot. For the record, Berkey, I will answer this question specifically today, but in the future, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to be very stingy about, not stingy, nitpicky about people asking questions in the middle of class. But if it looks like your question's kind of a follow-up to his question. So that kind of makes sense, and I don't want to disable that sort of thinking. So I can go into that later. I guess I'll just say no replay submissions after the beginning of the class. But I think if people have follow-up questions that are related to the questions that happened in chat or class, I think that would be bad for me to limit that. So never mind. Ignore my inner monologue there. Make sure to plan ahead. Yeah, but it looks like your question was about his question. So, like, at least pertaining to his question. Or maybe his question reminded you of it. So, yeah. I'm going to invite Dark Horse up. Yeah, I think if it's a follow-up question, it can be in the class chat. But then also, it would delay the next person's replay. So maybe it's best that isn't the case. Yeah, either way. I'll have to figure it out. I know for sure I don't want people submitting replays after the class has started, but I'll have to think about my perspective on questions themselves. Okay, Dark Horse. You are 4,300 carry Jug. You recently played a game against Muerta carry, and it felt pretty easily. We felt pretty easily. We won convincingly. I don't face her often, so while I understand on paper how to counter her, I'm unsure how to approach it in practice. Should I be itemizing specifically to deal with her? Or is it generally better to focus on killing her team first and then deal with her afterwards? In other words, is countering Muerta more about gameplay decisions than specific item choices? I would ask you what your thoughts are on your own question. Like, what do you think the answer to the question is?
So, in specifically to this game, my thought was, my Omni Slash is pretty much useless to Muerta if she still has ulti up with BKB. Like, I'm not going to be able to do anything to her in Omni Slash. So, either I have two options. Either I wait for her to ulti and then jump into the fight, or I focus on killing her team and using Omni Slash to kill her team while she's in ulti form, busy hitting my team. So those were the two questions I had going into this game. While busy thinking, so I actually I still went the Treads Battle Fury to farm, and then I went Manta, and then I went Ag's Blink, so I didn't go Butterfly. I skipped Butterfly, went Ag's Blink, and then into Abyssal. But then by that time the game was finished, so...
Gotcha. So, question. How have you or anyone else in class, this is an open question to everybody, how often do you think about what role counters a specific hero? Like, if I asked you what role counters Shaman, what would your answer be?
Mid.
Why?
Because the heroes that are in mid are... a lot of them have high mobility and can jump the backline.
What if I argued that Shaman, like, counters people like Puck who have high mobility because he can hex them?
That is true, but I suppose there are exceptions to most rules.
Yeah. I would say mids are maybe responsible for jumping him, but heroes that actually counter Shaman, in my opinion, are usually offlaners, because there's just, like, some offlaners that, like, have summons and shit that just, like, run at you and you can't do anything as Shaman. Like, Shaman is actually countered, in this case, maybe not by a role, so maybe that was a bad example. He's countered by heroes of multiple units. So he's countered by summons heroes and illusions. Like, really bad. So my thought on this is that, like, yeah, here you do need somebody that jumps Shaman, but this is an example that was actually really bad. But the idea is that he's countered by heroes with multiple units. So I guess, like, what archetype counters him and / what role counters him? So, like, that's maybe the two answers that would cover most heroes in the game. So, like, so it sounds like some people in chat have, like, thought about this question before. So my question for you is, what role counters Phantom Lancer? Are you a Phantom Lancer player?
I used to play him, but I haven't played him recently.
Okay.
But yeah, I do play him.
Okay, if you had to guess, like, I have an answer in my head, but what would your answer be for what role counters Phantom Lancer?
Like, thinking about the heroes that would kill him, that counter him, they mostly are played in mid.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a few offlaners, but
it's mostly mid. Yeah, mostly mid laners. It's like Leshrac, Ember Spirit, Puck, stuff like this. So yeah. There are other heroes, don't get me wrong. Like, there will always be heroes in Dota that have, like, specifically bad matchups. Like, Sven, for instance, is really good against PL. But, like, most carries are bad against PL. Like, that's just... Yeah. So, like, if I see all of the enemy heroes picked in a draft, except for their carry, it's very good to pick PL there, if it's, like, a good PL game. Like, this is an example of utilizing this to your advantage. Like, what role do they have left to pick? Like... For example, name a carry who's hardly ever countered by mids.
Yeah. I'd have to think about it. I think most carries would be countered by mids.
I think virtually no mid in the game counters Lifestealer. Like, what mid is like, yeah, I kill that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like all these spellcasting mobile guys, none of them kill him.
Wouldn't Leshrac with the pure damage from his W?
In my experience, like you can make an argument that heroes will have some way to deal with him, but like they're not like if it's a free lifestealer game and all they have left is a mid pick, they probably have no damage to kill you. Do you see what I mean? Like Leshrac W is not nearly enough to deal. Like 2 people in chat actually said lifestealer. So we're just kind of getting into this hypothetical theory crafting, which I like to do. These are good examples. For me, it's just like, there's no reminder. None of these are like quiz questions for what the right answer is. These are all meant to be provoking thought exercises for you guys, right? That's what these are meant to be. So it's cool. It is cool when people give similar answers to me. But the idea is like you can craft your own version of this. But when we think of Muerta, she literally has a spell that makes her immune to right-clicking. So I think the last person in the game whose job it is to deal with her is the carry. So the way that I look at Muerta is that she's a Terrorblade whose metamorphosis is on like a minute cooldown and lasts for like 9 seconds. 8 seconds. My thought on that is that Terrorblade outside of meta is fucking useless. Muerta outside of ultimate is fucking useless. So the way I view this hero is that the best way is certain heroes want to go like Hurricane Pikes and just use their BKB to like run away and shit. But the whole idea is you disengage Muerta when she's ultied. Like that's how I look at her. You have to either disengage her or be able to avoid her in the fights. So a lot of Muerta, she's really bad in my experience against like non-committal carries. Something like PL, for instance, like send a bunch of illusions at her and force her to react. Like she hates that kind of shit. But like Slark, for instance, can force her to pop spells and then back off. Like heroes that can engage and disengage are really good against Muerta. Heroes that like rely on killing her in a split second and she pulls her ulti off and they're fucked. It's like those are going to be bad heroes against Muerta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in general, I would say Jug doesn't really deal well with Muerta because you are one of those types of heroes that wants to do most of your damage in a small amount of time. However, you also reduce her damage to like virtually 0 on the push of a button. So you don't really care about her. So like, I just think of you two as carries who do nothing to each other. Like, so that's how I would look at this matchup, for instance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like that was my thinking in this game. It's like I can't kill her, she doesn't kill me, and unless I've used Omni, and I kill her if she's used ulti.
Yeah.
So to me, it was kind of like in this game, do I play it out like pure versus you when he was Morphling versus Faceless? And I just wait for her? Like, do I sit and wait it out, or do I just blink and kill a team and then...
I mean, that's a hugely different story because in that case, he killed me and I killed him. So he was out, like, whoever outweighted who was really important because we were responsible for killing the other guy.
Okay.
In your case, I would say you actually just... Your job is to actually start the fight in a meaningful way so that maybe Muerta tries to help her teammates or something. Like, I actually think you just act ignoring her in the game. Is how I would look at it. The only thing you don't want is to get like randomly blink hexed with Muerta nearby. Like that would be bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why I had the blink. Like I just waited for like to either see Shaman or my Clinks or Pudge to start.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so. You know, I have gone over quite a thought exercise about just counters in general. You said is this game end up being pretty easy, or was there something specific about this game you wanted me to watch?
So I think this game felt pretty easy. Like my Clinks was making moves. My Marcy also was making moves. I just felt like I didn't really want to fight super early. Like even with just Battle Fury Manta, it felt like I couldn't just show up to the fight 5v5. But that was just my thinking. Like I don't know if I was able to or not. Like I kept checking to see, like looking at my team, how they're fighting and what's happening. But I was just like pushing out lanes, farming, and
Yeah,
then
they have a pretty good amount of mid-game burst damage, and they have a BKB piercing stun that's global, so you can't really like play aggressive up on the map by yourself as long as Dawnbreaker has ulti. They have heroes that are really hard for you to Omni Slash. They have Muerta, they have Puck. So I think there's a lot of factors that make it so you don't really want to fight this game.
Yeah, like even if we find pickoffs, it was very difficult with Dawn ulti, because like Dawn just shows up and then heals the target.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I'm watching you place, like maybe there's like slight optimizations with your farming patterns, but I think, you know, for instance, like sending some mantas to mid or something there would have been nice. Yeah, I mean, I think
I've only started to do the manta thing with Jug, so I need to, like, other heroes it's like just muscle memory.
Yeah.
But for Jug, I haven't done it because I changed between S and Y and manta on Jug. I just haven't got it to the thing when I have manta just to use my.
Really interesting that I'm curious because for me it's usually not hero specific. It's like I tie my muscle memory to the item manta itself. Interesting to me that you say it's not muscle memory on your hero. I just find that fascinating.
Like, I mean, so if I play like Duso, then my illusions are always out in lanes all the time.
Yeah.
Off cooldown. Terrorblade by the
his manta doesn't really do much.
Yeah, but the W is
yeah, I see. Yeah.
But for like Jug, it's.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I'm just curious why that, you know, it looks like you're doing it here. I'm just hearing you say that like you do this on other heroes, but on Jug, when I feel like Manta as an item's like pretty consistent, other than maybe how fast it kills the wave or something. But I just thought that was interesting. I don't really have anything, unless you have a question about that. I don't have too much to say.
No.
Okay. I was watching you play this game. I think in general on carry, there's going to be games where it's literally our job to be unkillable on the map. And to just, I think a lot of people, especially non-carry players, underestimate how much of a role it is for the carry to just farm freely without being a detriment to his team, meaning that he's not getting ganked or chased around or dying on the map. What's really interesting is a lot of people watching may think this guy got totally carried by his team, but every carry's dream is to be allowed to farm freely, and then somehow we're also usually flamed when we're doing it.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you, like, I'm watching this, and it's like, I already know the reasons why it's not easy for you to fight, so I probably wouldn't fight either. I think instead of the Ags, I would probably go, like, the way that I'm thinking about this game, since it's so hard for you to hit heroes, I would probably just go, like, Butterfly Scotty, and I would just get an Aegis and hit high ground. Like, that's what I think my job is in the game. Like, I've been playing Jug a few times this way, where I go, like, Butterfly Lincolns or Butterfly Scotty, and was this... Yeah, it was this game. Like, I just walked at buildings in this game. It was kind of a stomp similar to yours. I think this game was similar. Yeah, I went Butterfly and then Ags. But, like, yeah, I just walked at buildings and hit shit. I think the best part about Butterfly is that you can just walk at buildings. With the next item, usually speaking.
And that would be... So, I have a question on that, because I am very finicky when it comes to Butterfly. Like, just buying the item.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that, like, for me, like, this game, I did not think that buying Butterfly would be beneficial to me because of the heroes and because of Muerta specifically.
Because of heroes what?
Like, because of the heroes. Like, the heroes aren't really gonna right click me. It's more magic damage. So to me, like, buying Butterfly would not really help for that. But when you're saying, like, you just buy Butterfly, go high ground, and hit towers, then that makes sense to, like, get to buy the item.
We're just gonna copy your situation in the game. You had Battle Fury, like a 1, I think. So, like, if we look at dummy targets, right? Like, we just do this, and we get, like, DPS charge. It's gonna be, what? I don't even know these numbers. I just know Butterfly's a massive fucking spike. So you're about 600 DPS right now. And when we give you a Butterfly, like, let's first do Ags. You were at 600 DPS. It's like, you have an Ags now. I know it's a bit cheaper than Butterfly, but Ags took your DPS from 600 to... I know this helps you hit heroes and everything, but it went from 600 to 630. Okay? With Butterfly, let's see what you got. I need a new target dummy. Like, for me, the way I view Butterfly is that it makes my damage, like, 60% higher. And so I can walk at buildings.
This goes for all heroes.
Yeah, this applies to all heroes. Every carry in the game hates buying an MKB against you, like Muerta included, even if she's not most of their damage. But if I'm Jug and I just want to walk up to Roche and do this, or walk up to a building and do this, I buy Butterfly. It's by far the highest DPS item on every Agi carry in the game. So I would stop assessing your items based on what heroes they have necessarily, and more so on what your hero wants to do in the game. I think in theory, Butterfly is like absolutely broken on any hero that doesn't feed by buying it. Like Morphling, Jug, Terrorblade. It's like there's certain... It's like if Drow goes second or third item Butterfly, she usually just feeds. You know what I mean? Like she needs other items. So like I think if you're a carry that can get away with this, it's like broken. And that's why I buy it. Has nothing to do with needing evasion. On most of these carries.
What situation then wouldn't you get it in?
When it's actually my job in the game to kill heroes and I need like Ag Swift Blink and I think I can kill them with these items. Like that's my job in the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like you're against a lot of heroes that will have limited damage later on in the game. We'll have a really hard time killing you twice, and your team's running over the map. So not only that, but Butterfly's going to speed up your farm. It's going to speed up killing Roche. It's going to speed up killing their base. EHP is really nice on any hero with built-in sustain. So, you know, armor and evasion is really nice with Jug. Same with Morph, right? Built-in sustain. So yeah, for me, it's like I need an excuse not to buy it. Is like how I look at Butterfly. In general, it feels really fucking good to buy it. So that's the explanation I wanted to give real quick, because that's how I view Butterfly. Did you have any other questions?
No, that was it.
Sweet, man. I'm gonna boot you.
Thanks.
Is Butter the penultimate damage item for Jug? Yeah. I mean, for all of these carries that are just Agi right-clickers, even like Broodmother, for instance, when it's like Terrorblade, Morphling. The biggest deal about these heroes compared to a hero like PL, for instance, is that PL needs other items generally. Like he needs Manta, he needs Ags. I kind of want to experiment with PL going Manta, Ags, Butterfly, like rather than other items. But then generally speaking, PL needs Orchid or something to lock people down. But like Medusa, who went Manta, Butterfly, she just had like a lot of built-in survivability. You know, Gyrocopters, they'll need like Ag Scepter plus BKB first. It's like, honestly, the heroes that are the best with Butterfly are the ones that just don't need other items. And Butterfly in theory is like fucking busted, you know. Does Butterfly accelerate farm more than Blink? No, right? But what it does do is it accelerates taking objectives. So it just depends on what your role in the game is. Is your role to accelerate farm after you have Manta Battle Fury, or is your role to accelerate objectives? Because it's like, yes, you can accelerate your farm, but is that what you need to win this game? Like, is 950 GPM as opposed to 920 gonna like win you the game? You know what I mean? Because like both items obviously accelerate your farm. And yeah. It's just that if the argument was to always accelerate farm, I think Blink is the majority of the time the most efficient item on any hero with like a decent amount of damage. But What you don't have with Blink is some damage item. And I know Blink's a pretty cheap item, but 2,000 gold is like 3 minutes of time, which in Dota can be an eternity sometimes. How does MKB damage as a fare as a damage item? I mean, we can test on Jug, right? You can literally just do this kind of stuff yourself, but I'll show you this time around. So, like, if he has Manta, Treads, Battle Fury, level 20. So we saw that it was about 600. I'll max out crit this time, actually. Just for the sake of it. Dummy target. Get a wand. So with maxed out crit, what's really interesting to me is maxed out crit is like barely any more damage than stats. It's like literally 5% more damage or something. So if we go, Butterfly was what? Butterfly is like 950-ish. I guess it's a bit higher because of the max crit. So Butterfly takes you up to 1,050. And MKB... Actually, I don't know if that messed it up. I need to let it reset. So MKB is actually a bit higher on the DPS charts. And I think the biggest thing about it is Roche doesn't really take magical damage, and towers obviously don't take it, and you obviously have no survivability. So the damage is slightly higher on MKB. Like, you go from 1,050 to 1,110. So you're getting like 5% damage. And you have literally 0 survivability with this item compared to this one. And also, a lot of this damage doesn't work on buildings. I mean, these are just considerations. If your job is to, like, kill the enemy carry who has a butterfly, then obviously MKB is better, right? But a lot of itemization, almost all of itemization, is understanding your role in the game. Like, am I supposed to hit high ground? Am I supposed to kill heroes? Am I supposed to gank people, like initiate onto them? Am I supposed to... Like, what is my job? Am I supposed to kill a specific guy? You know? Okay. You still go Butter versus Drow. The thing about Drow is she kills you, but you kill her, so probably not. I would probably itemize to kill the Drow. Once again, against Drow, do you think it's your job to survive or to kill her? Drow's one of those carries you itemize to kill, not itemize to survive against. Okay, Sunny, man. Sup, dude?
Hey, what's going on, BSJ?
Sup? So you don't want to spend too much time on the lane because you were a bit distracted. How do I feel about Monkey King Witch Doctor versus Visage Hoodwink? In my experience against Visage, I pretty much always have to fly out a salve. Very early on in the lane because I just get soul assumption twice. So unless I trust my mischief skills, I strongly consider salve against Visage. So I might not go these starting items. I would probably consider having tangos in my starting items just so I can fly myself a salve. And aside from that, I would say that you'd probably play this lane pretty chill, but you should kind of free farm, I think.
Okay.
Like, you'll get range creeps. You can just probably buy boots first and just defensive aggro a bunch. And then the way I'd view the lane is that Witch Doctor would be contesting Hoodwink on the side, and maybe you go help him with, like, level 3 Primal Spring or something. That's how I'd see this lane going myself.
Okay. That sounds pretty reasonable. Do you think once the birds come out, like, I'm probably not looking to interact with them?
Most carries, unless they have a way to split shot, never interact with Visage once his birds come out. So, maybe Gyrocopter, maybe Medusa. But honestly, a lot of the time, carries leave lane against Visage when he's 6, or they get ganked for. Yeah, because not only does Visage have multiple units, but he can also just zap your attack speed, which most carries use to kill them. So pretty pretty bad hero to continue laning against when he's level 6 usually.
Yeah, that's
You-
my feeling as well.
You can maybe scoop up creeps under your tower, like you can farm like this small camp and come back. But at the very least, you're definitely not like laning up here. You asked me your first question's at 6 minutes. So you want to fight against these two. So interestingly enough, like I think the second point Jingu's like maybe fine. I would never take the third point because I'm probably starting jungle really early against Visage. I would gear up. I would probably go 1-4-1 to be honest.
Yeah, that was my plan going into this lane, but these players were just really bad, so I went more Jingu.
Hmm.
Never thought I would end up with 2 to 3 points in Jingu, but
I see. So you did have an intention. So you do feel like you were adjusting to the situation at hand. I think that's reasonable. I mean, the thing is that my major thing is that you should know in theory that you're going to leave lane when he's 6. So when he's 6, if you feel good about your skill build, then what you're doing is fine. Like, how did you feel when he was 6? I don't actually know.
I think they just bring Furion +1 and I die. But I'm also a bot, and I think I could have mischief dodged and lived. But
It's interesting how long your Witch Doctor stays here for. Okay. The Pledge came bottom and didn't even need to be needed there. I mean, if you're planning on staying in lane with your supports and killing this guy, then maxing Jingu's fine.
that's kind of how I felt about the game, and that's what I communicated. This is the same Witch Doctor I've been submitting replays with week after week. He roamed around some. That's where I should have dodged.
And you have 21 charges though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just my thoughts are that very rarely past like 8 to 9 minutes am I just in lane like this as carry. Like
Yeah,
this
I think
is
especially on Monkey King, I'm bad about doing this because he's not a great hero to
Monkey
stay
King.
in lane forever.
Monkey King is a hero that it took me 200 games or so to get used to this, and I still fuck it up. So I'm just gonna try to save you some time. You're a fucking god for like 8 minutes, and then you're a fucking pussy for like 12 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if we can just embrace that as best as we can, you know, and avoid these deaths. It took me about 200 games, so maybe it can take you less because I'm helping you out.
I don't look at my open Dota or Dota buff.
Yeah. So like, yeah, this hero's power spikes are very like mountains and valleys, man. Mountains and valleys on this hero's power spikes, especially as a carry. In the mid roll, he's a bit. He can potentially extend that when he's going like diffusal and stuff. But even then, some games you have to learn to chill. But this for me is really strange that you have Battle Fury and you're not like clearing Ancients. This is really weird to me. That you're playing so much for kills. I guess. I mean, it seems to be working. I don't even know how good it is because, you know, if you think about how much farm you're missing and stuff by being here. I mean, we've gotten 3 kills. I mean, you are getting the kills, so like hard to argue with the results. Go ahead.
This is my next timestamp here.
Yeah.
Would you have based here, or would you do what I did?
No, I do what you
Something
did,
different
for
entirely.
sure. This is what I want to be doing in the first place anyway. I would have killed these 2 camps over here. I would have gone here with your tree jump. I would have jumped here, farmed these, and then probably gone back to base, because then I have BKB, and then I TP back out with full mana, full health. A BKB. So I think you... I don't hate that you stayed on the map here. I mean, with Battle Fury, you do have decent sustain. I think I would have done what I said, but that's because I want to hit that timing as hard as possible. That might not be as relevant in your games.
This is my next timestamp. Or no, it's not. Go back to the top. Here it is, I think. This is where I feel like I lose momentum.
It's so interesting to me that you have a Battle Fury and you just walk by ancient camps all the time.
Can I explain myself on this?
Sure.
So I like Battle Fury on Monkey King. I think it feels good. I think it's the best farming item generally on most carries in this patch. And I don't think Monkey King necessarily needs it. And I've studied a ton of replays of better Monkey King players than me, and I find that they, even though they buy Battle Fury, they'll still do bleh, I can't talk. They'll still do a bunch of fighting. And maybe I'm ignoring the ancients too much, but um it like an old version of me would have been doing what you were saying, and I would just be hitting a bunch of ancients. But after I've watched a lot of other Monkey King players, I feel like even in pubs, like pro games, both, like it seems like they fight a ton with even with the Battle Fury. Maybe I'm trying to emulate that. I'm not sure.
I mean, I understand your point, and I respect that you've like watched other people and you've like reevaluated. I guess my question is, how long have you been doing this for? Where you're like trying to run around the map more?
I'm not sure.
I guess my question is it working?
I mean, 60 Monkey King's my most played hero this patch, 60% win rate. But I'm also like, I don't know how much of that is because I'm like 2,000 plus MMR below my peak. I'm not sure.
I see. I didn't remember that context.
You've coached me years ago. I was much higher in the past.
What'd I do to you? I remember coaching you actually. I didn't remember what MMR you were though. I
think peak was 5,600, but
okay.
It's been many years ago. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thought is that if I'm skipping ancients, whatever I'm going to has to look like really time sensitive.
Okay.
So like when I'm looking at what you're going to, I don't know what you're going to here.
Wave crashing into tower?
But you like could have already farmed that hard camp, and you could have already farmed the ancients. You know what I mean? What wave?
Yeah, it's not actually getting to the tower. Okay, you're right.
So for me, the way I look at the game is I have a really strong sense of what I'll do by default, and then over time, I try to train how my hero reacts to different stimuli in the game. Like if fights are happening, how likely am I to show for it? If a fight's happening, how likely am I to go push a tower? If a fights are happening, maybe I just go solo Tormentor if I'm like Troll Warlord or Ursa or something. You know what I mean? Like every hero generally has like a way they react. So like maybe on Monkey King, if I saw a fight continue to go on bottom, I would skip these camps, maybe clear just the big camp or something, clear this wave and go through the Twin Gate, because like Monkey King can get there pretty fast. And he doesn't mind going to fights with these items. So it's just like, I think you need to maybe recenter what your default is. Because if you're just skipping these things and trying to be more active with fighting, that's going to actually make it worse, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to be mindful of showing up to more fights, because I think my default state is I overfarm. And I'm maybe like I'm going too much in being active, especially with the items I have.
Okay. I've learned this. Okay. So I've learned this in many ways, and I'll probably learn it in many ways again in the future. I found that when our default is something and we try to replace it with something else, and we don't actually understand what is good or bad about our default, then we'll never get better at the thing. So what's interesting to me is you're doing the exact same thing I've done historically, which is I understand my default is to farm too much, so I'm trying to do the other thing. I actually had a really interesting discussion with Dr. K. This is actually really interesting to me. It made me think of this. So when I talk to myself, I'm giving you guys a real life example of what I'm trying to say here. When I talk to myself, he asked me something along, let me think of exactly how this went. He asked me something along the lines of, how are you when you like don't do your, like, what do you say to yourself when you like come up short? He said something like this. And my response was something along the lines of, I know that I should be gauging myself based on did I do my best in that circumstance and what can I learn? But that's not what I say. And he goes, so he ends up asking me later, like, what do I say? Which is, I'm very hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist and all that. And he said, it's a really interesting thing that I have basically tried to cover what my default state is with self-help of what I'm supposed to do. So every time I end up in this situation, I have to effectively exert effort to override my default to do this thing. Do you see what I'm saying by this? Or
Yeah,
no?
I think I follow you.
Okay. So what he's saying is that as long as that's the way that I approach it, I will always have to exert a lot of effort to override my default, when in reality, the way that this gets easier is to truly understand what my default is and why I have it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, like, what happens is, if you were to understand your default is to overfarm, and then we were to watch you live according to your default, we could talk about things that are like going through your head, things you're doing that are good or bad, like helpful, and talk about, like, you know, why did you do this? Why do you think this is good? Why do you think this is bad? And we can learn about your default. So rather than you trying to override your default consciously, we're going to understand your default better, and we can tweak your default. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how I would like to approach it for myself. So that's why I'm recommending it to you.
Yeah, I think we think pretty similarly.
Okay, cool.
I definitely resonate with what you've just said.
Okay, cool, man. So yeah, I think it's a really hard uphill battle for you to consistently try to override your farming default, and you're going to do stupid shit while you're doing it. And what I mean by stupid shit is stuff that just doesn't really look natural. I don't want to say stupid shit. It's just kind of like, a guy with Battle Fury just skipped Ancients. That's kind of unnatural. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I encourage you to restore your default, come to me with a game knowing that your default's to overfarm, and let's try to approach your default with a curiosity of where is it paying off for you and where is it not. In the case of being hard on myself, it was really interesting to me. So I've had this bias, this perception that being hard on myself is bad and that I should stop being hard on myself. And honestly, a lot of that is because I've had so many people in my life, Twitch chat included, who tell me stop being so hard on yourself. So I've actually have this like biased lens of being hard on myself that's bad, right? So then Dr. K said, why do you think you're hard on yourself? Like, he asked this question. And then I was like, oh, shit. He's like, well, when are you hard on yourself? And it's like, okay, well, when I come up short. Okay, what do you feel when you come up short? And he's like, and I said, like, you know, fear of not being good enough, anxiety, like a bunch of negative emotions, generally speaking. And he says, and when that happens, how do you feel relief? And I was like, by doing better next time. And he said, so being hard on yourself sounds like it's an incredibly strong intrinsic motivation cycle within you that makes you do better at things. Is that not correct? He asked me that, and I'm like, that is correct. He's like, that sounds like a superpower to me. That's what he said to me, and I was like, what? You know, like, I've had this perception of being hard on myself all this time. I think your default to over-farming, I need people to over-farm. That's like 90% of my coaching sessions are telling people you're not farming enough. That's like 95% of it. And yet, the problem is you have other roles, you have a bunch of other people in your games saying you farm too much, you're doing this, you're doing that, what's wrong with you? It's literally the same as people telling me to stop being hard on myself. And I'm like, so now I have this negative connotation in my head about being hard on myself rather than looking at how it benefits me to be hard on myself, right? And it's like, well, it's not the fact that I'm hard on myself that's making things worse. It's the fact that I like hate myself for being hard on myself. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's useful, but it can make you feel bad.
Exactly. And so if you feel bad for over farming, suddenly your instinct that's probably pretty good because you were 5.6k at one point to farm a lot, suddenly you have this like negative connotation in your head about your instinct, and that's definitely going to make you play worse. Do you know what I mean?
I think there's like an underlying concept or feeling I've had, especially when I've taken breaks from Dota for a long period of time. It's felt like over time the game has shifted under my feet quite a bit. I've played carry pretty much the whole time. I've played Dota for 12 years or whatever it is. And it seems like carry has gotten less and less of the I can 1v9 type of feel to it. And carry seems to trend more towards fighty, like more fightiness, I would say, especially the higher MMR you go.
I think
that is something that governs my thoughts when I play carry nowadays.
That makes sense. I'll tell you my experience. Before I was 11k, I could AFK farm and win every game. Like around 11k, I was like, I actually need to start like playing for fights and stuff. Like I actually have to hit timings. Like I noticed that people are punishing me when I don't have timings. But like I was winning every single game at 10.5k at one point when I was playing offlane TB, and I was going Manta Butterfly and just hitting creeps all game, and I would just win. So like my thought is, genuinely speaking, you get to 11k by farming. That's my genuine thought. And it's not AFK farming, it's high aggression up on the map farming. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're literally trying to get 1,000 GPM. You're trying to play the line as much as possible, you know, of how far up on the map you can be, how much pressure you can exert, how many reactions you can force. I think you get to 11k no problem doing that. And I say that meaning no problem as in, like, I think it can be someone's sole focus of how far up on the map can I play and farm, and you'll get to 11k. It's really hard to do that, but even with all of the stuff that you're saying, because I agree that that shift has happened, that in my personal experience, I haven't really had to start doing that until recently in terms of my MMR.
Okay.
And I'm still losing games to carry players when I mean, like, I'm like an offlane player, they win their lane, and I literally lost a game today to Low Skill, who's a like rank 150 tier 2 pro player. I lost a game to him, and we were winning all game. He was playing Terrorblade. I think he showed up to like 3 fights all game. And he like carried the shit out of it. Right here. This guy was fucking 0-0-2 at 21 minutes. And he like carried the shit out of his fucking game. You know what I mean?
Terrorblade's like one of my favorite heroes. Can you send me this match ID?
You technically can't watch it.
Oh, I can't watch it? Darn.
Yeah, but like he carried the ever-living shit out of this game, and like it feels like when there's these carry players that only show up to the perfect fights, these are the ones that are like ranked 200. Honestly, like all flame aside, like the reason why this guy's ranked 500, I know he's ranked higher than me. The reason he's ranked 500 compared to this guy is he like took 2 stupid fights when I had TP top to set up Tormentor twice, and he took a fight without me away from a ward. And that's why this guy's ranked 500. This guy doesn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's less critical mistakes.
Yeah, so I think to get to 11k is all about really disciplined farming, maximizing your potential on the map. I think above this is actually your fight selection. Like, for me, I'm like, when I make 1 or 2 stupid fights, like, I notice I lose these games. When I don't, I win every game. Like, I've noticed this when I'm playing carry. Sadly, recently, I haven't gotten to play carry very much the last, like, 10 games.
Are you still doing the experiment?
I actually need to, like, I'm no longer collecting data officially, but I need to reinstate using the default line because I've been getting some uncooperative people in my games lately.
Okay.
It's weird. It comes in streaks. Where I'll get like 10 games in a row where everyone's really nice, and then I played literally 7 or 8 games this weekend, and every game was a shit show toxic. It was crazy, actually. Every single game.
Bad variance, I guess.
Yeah, bad variance. Or maybe weekend Dota, I'm not sure. But I am going to let you go. Did you have any other questions real quick?
Nah, I think we covered plenty to chew on.
Yeah. Did you come to this conclusion about 11k recently? I was talking to Airfawn about it when I was signing him on as a coach, and I was like, I have this gut feeling that all we need to do is have people learn how to farm, and that'll get them to like at least 8. And he's like, I think it's like 10 or 11K. And I was like, I think you're right, but I didn't want to go that high. And I noticed that it's super common to have streaks of teammate behavior. Absolutely. I've noticed it too. When you say learn how to farm, what I'm saying is that everything you do in the game is about how far up on the map you farm. Do you die while you're farming? Do your farming patterns take you towards your team when you have items? Do they take you away from your team when you don't want to fight? It's all about your farming patterns. People focus so much on fighting when they don't realize that 95% of what makes you good at fight selection is farming the right area before the fight. That's like the only part about fight selection that really comes down to skill is like the literal execution within the fight. But how you approach the fight, where the fight happens, whether or not you're even in the fight, that is all about how you farm. And that's what makes you good at Dota, not pressing buttons. I personally think that around my MMR, approximately, because, it's like there's no perfect number. Around my MMR is where fight selection matters. Like, I think my fight selection's relatively poor right now. And I actually think that a lot of it's my instinct is good, and I don't listen to it because of social anxiety of getting flamed by teammates. Like, unironically. That's my, like, self-diagnosis. But I do have a coaching session for after this class, and we are coming up right at the hour mark. I will take a quick gander at Berkey's question just to answer this. You're talking about playing Marcy recently offlane and carry. My question is, do you think you still go for Helm of the Dominator? I personally see every Marcy go Helm of the Dominator. I think it's far too good. You can consider the 0.8 mana regen neutral item. You can consider just not using the Helm Dom as like a Midas. You can just use it to get a creep. For Marcy specifically, she doesn't use it the same way these other heroes use it. She just uses it to have something to rebound off of and tag and bodyguard it. So I don't think there's a better option. I think it's by far the best item, unless you have like an IO or something. But yeah. Thank you so much for joining us for class today, guys. I did want to give a quick shout out to the Twitch stream. I am going to end the class here, though. Unrelated question. I literally had a Drow today that got picked, and I hope I never see one again. For me, Drow Ranger is incredibly susceptible to ganks in the early to mid game, and the mid game for carries right now is all about farming independently and being ungankable. So I think any hero that's easy to gank is not a good carry, and I think Drow sucks. And I was very sad when my teammate last picked Drow today. Very sad about that. Okay. I will see you guys in the stream. That's it for today's class, and I'll let you guys go here. We'll disconnect. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I'll see you later. So quick shout out to Twitch chat. I'll actually link it in Discord as well. I need to get the link. We are looking to slowly expand the classes, or like the slots for classes. So right now, every week, what we're going to do is we're going to open up 3 slots if people want to join. You get effectively access to 8 classes a week like that, amongst a few other small features, and also priority for educational Smurf lobbies and such. So if you'd be interested in joining us in these classes, it is $25 a month for effectively 8 of those classes a month. We also have Airfon, who's helping coach. He's a 11K MMR coach himself, who coaches tier 2 professional teams, so very good teams. And he also does 1 class a week as well. So you're effectively getting up to 12 classes a week if you'd like anything like you just saw. And I'll go ahead and link to you guys. There are 3 slots we're opening up every week. If you guys would like it, if you'd like to be a part of it. Not, all good. It's not letting me link it in YouTube. Okay, there it goes. For anybody who's potentially interested. But that's it for now. We do have another coaching session. Sometimes it feels like the perfect fights never happen when your team isn't playing right for them. Is there any answer to that? Just be 9 slotted? It is to just farm, yeah. The answer to that is just farm. Not the answer any of us want to hear, though. The last few games I've played, I've done the just farm thing. I've either followed my teammates into bad fights and died, or I've tried to do the just farm thing, and then people broke their items. It happened twice. So I've had really bad Dota experiences in the last 3 days. Really bad experiences. I am definitely a tad jaded right now. And, you know, it's always just good to be consciously aware that you are jaded. Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing all right.
You cut out for a second there, but I heard you say doing all right, I think.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Nice, man. Nice. I'm gonna share my screen with you. What made you decide to sign up for my coaching? Why are you here? I see your little description and stuff, but you know, why
Yeah,
are
it's
you here?
fake. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
Basically, me and my friends, it's mainly 2 other people. We play 2-3 games a day, and it's been loss after loss. And our favorite saying is "win lane, lose game."
Okay.
So I think we're really bad from the 10 to 20, 25 minute mark. I typically play pause 4, just they have so much more experience than me. I let them kind of do the more heavy hitter decision maker roles, and then I just try to back them up.
I see. Are you pretty much always playing with your friends?
For the most part, lately this past month I've played a lot solo. To mixed results, my MMR is really low, so I feel like the skill gap in teammates is so wide.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm 100 MMR.
Dude, you should just lose 3 more so we can say we're starting you from 0. Come on, bro.
Okay, I'll throw a few.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, that's pretty low. It's funny. I had a guy who signed up with me last week, technically as a friend giving him a birthday present, but he was 500 MMR after 12 years of playing this game. And you know, I saw that you've only played for about 5 years, and you said there was a long break in there, so maybe it's even less than 5 years. But I feel like no matter what MMR you are, with the, I don't want to say like the wrong mentality, but with the right concoction of the wrong mentality, we can get stuck there.
Yeah.
Dota's innately like a very frustrating game, and there's a lot of things our teammates will do to make our lives more frustrating. And I know from personal experience in my climb from like a 10.2 to where I am now, which is like 11.5, that every hill I've run into has been a result of how I interact with my teammates. Like, I'm in a bad headspace, or my teammates have been consistently not the most pleasant for the last few days. So a lot for me is minimizing how that happens and how I get affected by toxicity. But I also think that a lot of Dota is not just about toxicity, because I personally think that toxicity is blown a bit out of proportion for what is actually reality. I think a lot of what I'm trying to, or what I'm realizing I need to teach you guys, when I say you guys, I'm saying the people, with all due respect, that are in the trenches, that one thing you deal with more than anyone else is variance of teammates' skill level. You will get all types of shit. The fact that you have people in your bracket that have played this game for so long, I'm sure there's games where they pop off, and I'm sure there's games where they're like 0-20 out of nowhere. Like, otherwise, there's just no way. Like, for every game that somebody pops off, somebody has to be 0-20, because otherwise, like, how does their skill average out to that MMR? You know what I mean?
Recently, we had a game, and our Ogre McGee, who was a random, was AFK farming.
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's the thing, is that what I've realized when I'm talking to people is that my job when I'm dealing with toxicity is to play my game as much as I can, given the circumstance, to let my teammates' communication and pinging and all that affect my decision making as little as possible. And I'm trying to recreate what my hero wants to do, what my hero does in the game, my role in the game. Like, I'm trying to recreate that to some extent every game to have maximum impact, right? For you guys,
Yeah.
it's a lot about how do I make sure my hero is optimized given the circumstance within the game. And
Okay.
so that may sound, you know, when I say it like that, it may sound easy, but I know we all know it's not easy. But, you know, the first lesson that I need to teach everybody in your spot is every second you spend thinking about your teammates is a waste. I tell that to everybody. So we're going to direct as much of our attention to you and what you're doing in the game as possible. And what you're doing can be relative to what they're doing, but a lot of times it should be relative to what you see in the game. Meaning, like, you see creep waves hitting towers, you see jungle camps going unfarmed. Like, you see things within the game that are a result of what your teammates are doing. But rather than assessing what your teammate is doing, we want to look at common factors because we know these things are important. So one of the most important things, like, one of my guys that's in my classes, he's like 3,700 MMR, support player, and he might be one of the most efficient farming supports I've ever witnessed. His fight selection is not very good. But he's 3,700 because he knows how to fucking farm and clear creeps. He picks strong laners and he farms creeps. And he's 3,700. And I'm like, and he climbed from 2.3 to 3,700 after coming to my classes and me just refining his farming. So I try to tell, it doesn't matter what fucking role you guys are. If you understand the importance of farming, pushing creeps, defending towers, scaling into the game, no matter what role you are, this is how you get out of like the first 2,000 to 3,000 MMR. It's how you get out of it, by being consistent and doing that, because consistency and farming is what nobody in your game has. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so my favorite hero to play is Muerta, and
Okay.
I find as the pause 4, a lot of the times I don't have the tools to really farm like neutral camps.
Yeah.
So I have been trying to focus more on like pushing the lane out and like say if we go off lane, like pulling that camp down so I can, you know, do that a little bit safer. Like I'm trying to do a lot of these things. And when it feels like we have, you know, 2 competent people on our team, we're winning over 50% of those games. And really I probably just want to find how to overcome, you know, when we get those 2 boneheads.
Do you have a game in
Because
question that you had some boneheads on your team?
yeah, it's not my main hero. I was playing Snapfire here, and
Okay.
it actually is the one with Ogre McGee.
Sure.
Let me copy this. It was most recent game, so it'll work out. That's the code.
Yep, I got you. You can see my screen, right, on Discord?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So Snapfire is a great support in the meta right now. Muerta, not so much, if we're just purely
Yeah.
looking at the meta. And I do believe every recommendation I'll give anybody in your bracket, like when I say your bracket in
Play
regards
meta.
to this comment, I mean if you're 3K or below.
Okay.
Because I think farming is all that fucking matters. I've said it a million times, and my fellow coach has given me more conviction on this. That I think the only thing that matters is your support can clear waves and jungle a little bit. So Snapfire is great. Other examples, CM, Jakiro, Veno, Hoodwink, kind of. Disruptor with Shard.
Interesting.
Warlock. Skywrath Mage with Shard now can do it.
So none of my heroes are on your list.
Yeah.
I play Omni, Lich, the occasional Lina for Muerta.
Okay.
Those are kind of my go-tos.
Gotcha. So before I like tell you what heroes to pick or change anything about what you're doing, I need to see what you're doing first. So let's go ahead and load this in. I was just theory crafting what I'm telling you as a general sense, and then we're going to watch your game kind of under this lens. Okay. So.
And I have no problem switching.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know. Support 101, this is never a thing. Buying a Bassi in your starting items. What we want our starting items to have is stats and a stick, pretty much. We want to have like a Fairy Fire, a Blood Grenade, some Tangos, a stick, and the only exception is maybe on certain universal supports, maybe you go a bunch of stats. Like I've seen like double circlet sometimes, but I don't think that's like I don't think I would ever recommend you do that. The reason why is because there's just a lot of right clicking in the lane. There's just a lot.
Mhm.
And if you have an extra 5 damage because you have these stat items and a stick, and they don't have that 5 damage and a stick, like say the other guy has this, you're just gonna shit on him. Like that's what's gonna happen.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry. The main reason for the Bassi is mainly so I can spam my E and my Q, which I felt like was a higher damage output than the right clicking.
90% of laning is right clicking each other. That's just how it is. Like
Okay.
people cast spells for sure, but 90% of laning is right clicking people.
Okay.
And so we're right clicking creeps to deny them. We're right clicking people to harass them. We're right clicking the 5 to trade with them. We're pulling jungle camps and right clicking those. There's a lot of right clicking that goes on. And even if you underestimate it, so maybe when I watch you play, you just never right click. Maybe that might happen, and then we'll have to talk about that. But generally speaking, we want to get you on the right track of, I understand spell spamming, but let's see what happens here. I think stick is almost as good, if not as good, in that realm. It's almost as good, I would say. For spells for mana. Okay, so yeah.
Got away, unfortunately. There, it looked like we were gonna get him.
Yeah. According to me, do you know what wins lanes? This is a leading question, and I don't like leading questions generally. But what would you define? I'll ask a better question. How would you define how you win a lane?
Harass.
Harass.
And then I know you're probably getting to like position of the creeps. Like we
Okay.
want him closer to our tower, so I should be pulling here.
Okay.
It was another one where that's another thing I've been trying to do more lately, but it felt like our harass was so good and they're already in the place they think is the safest and we're killing them. So I kind of just let it get away.
I see. If you're killing them here, you'll fucking shit on them up here.
Yeah, that's
So it's only better. Whatever you're doing here is only better back here, period. So I think the entire lane is about who controls these camps over here. That's the entire fucking lane. Like, meaning, if I have the permission to go pull at 115, like, a support in my MMR will never let you do that. Like, they just won't. That's how you win lanes, by pulling that camp at 115. But people, like, that's the default way to win lanes. Is the enemy pulls the small camp at 115, you pull the large camp at 115. Whoever gets to do that is almost certainly going to win lanes. So understanding that that's what we're going for, and then not getting distracted by anything you just said to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to recreate that and battle for that every single game. Like, what happens over here is, like, if this guy blocks this camp, like, it's not there, and you let this camp through for some reason because maybe you got first blooded and he dewarded you ahead of time, like something that actually happens, suddenly we're going to need to learn to adjust to that. But that's the situation both the 5 and the 4 are trying to create. Like, that is what we're trying to create. So if we know it, which you seem to, that's the interesting part to me when I'm talking to people that have played Dota for a decent amount of time and they clearly think about the game. Like, I can tell you think about the game. How much you guys know and you just don't do it. I find it so interesting. I find it so interesting. And so much of it is, okay, I know this. How can we translate that into it being done as close to 100% of the time as possible? That is what's going to keep you at this MMR. So right now, you're denying a bunch of creeps for this guy. I would want you to either push the wave really hard or deny the creeps back to here, which is fine. What you're doing is fine. The reason, though, I would probably like to push the wave here because of the Lotus. Like, the Lotus is an objective in the lane. Generally, before 3 minutes, I try to push the lane. However, what you're doing here, where you're denying creeps and they already have 2 range creeps, if you're allowed to do that, that's really good. Because when they have 2 range creeps, the lane's going to push anyways. Like, really fucking hard. So I think if this was 1 range creep on 1 range creep, I wouldn't like what you're doing. But since it's 2 range creeps and you guys are just going to put the lane all the way back here, I don't even mind if you, like, give up the Lotus because this carry Tusk or whatever is not hitting a single creep. So I'm happy with this. The whole idea is we want to expedite the process to put the lane right here, and we want to keep it here for the rest of eternity. And the only exception to that is to shove the lane in again in order to pull. Again.
Yeah, so basically I'm using their tower to do what I'm doing, right?
Yes.
It's just faster.
Yes, it is technically faster. Yeah, if you have the control to harass them and push the lane, that is the most efficient thing to do. You know?
Okay.
If you don't have that, then that's a different story. But the whole idea is you probably will have creative strategies that you and your friends, since you're playing with somebody you know, can concoct. But the whole idea is the one method is to pull the lane back manually by defensive aggroing. The other way is to push it into their tower and pull. Both of these are options, but we want to get it done as soon as possible without the extraneous, like, extra bullshit where you're diving them under tower like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm following.
If we
it's
clean
safer
up
to do the same thing.
Yes, if we clean up the extraneous bullshit, what's going to happen is you'll climb to a bracket where other people are consistently doing that too, and then we can make Dota interesting.
Okay.
I hate to say it, guys, but to get out of like Herald and Crusader and Guardian and shit, you have to play really boring, reliable Dota. And it's actually pretty fun, in my opinion, to get good at this shit. I think it's fun. But, you know, it's not some fancy answer, right? It's like, let's just recreate the same scenario over and over again. And what's going to happen as we climb MMR is our team, or as our opponents are going to make it more difficult for us to recreate that. That's how it goes. Because people know what we want to do. Like in my bracket, everyone knows what you want to do, and they're going to try to stop you, you know? And then we get to analyze hero matchups and little advanced maneuvers. But in your bracket, nobody, like the guy didn't D-ward, he didn't block the hard camp. Just pull it.
He's just letting my word sit there.
He's just letting your observer sit in his camp. And he's like, I saw the same thing when I coached the guy last week. It's so funny to think that you guys both gave an answer similar about pull camps, and yet neither of you pulls. I think that's so fascinating. So you guys are trading hard. I'm looking at his perspective. Okay. Okay, so you go Tranquils. I don't even like, if you want to stick to your Bassi, man, I don't even hate it. If you want to try doing what I'm telling you to do and it works for you to go Bassi, it's fine. You know what I mean? I think it's much more important that we focus on the fundamentals of the lane that I just talked about. I do think it's weird to have bought a salve when you have Tranquils.
It's not for me.
Oh. I don't think buying salves for teammates is a thing anymore. You can buy in some tangos if you want. Salves only work half on teammates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they nerfed that maybe while you weren't playing. Yeah.
Yeah, because we missed like 2023 to just a few months ago.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there that they made it so salves only work half on teammates. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about the lane too much more. I could tell you and your friend seem to have some synergy. I do think you'll have stick in 99% of games. I would like to see at least a stick as an adjustment for your item build. People are also using blood grenades a lot. It's literally like an extra spell.
Yeah.
It's like 125 damage and a slow. I can't tell you in my bracket how often I die to a blood grenade. Like in a situation where I would not have died if they did not blood grenade me.
Like we would have got that Skywrath in that.
Yeah,
that
probably.
First fight.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So so what we want to do is that the stats and the stick mean that we're assuming we're going to trade with people, and maybe over time what happened was you weren't trading with people because they were just losing to you, and you said you win lane, lose game. So maybe your lanes are already going pretty well, but like.
I'd say about 80% of the time it looks like this, where we're getting more kills on them and they're missing out on a lot of farm.
I see. I gotcha. I believe you. I would love to see the way you guys win lane is not kills, but by pulls. Because that is easily replicable, and what's going to happen is you'll eventually get to a bracket where people will stop you, and you actually have to kill them to get those things. And what happens is, I can teach you that you're supposed to kill people in lane when they don't let you farm and they don't let you pull. But if they're letting you farm and letting you pull, you don't need to kill them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like they're already letting us do everything we need to do, and they're missing out on farm. So
exactly.
Screw 'em.
Exactly. So what happens is I hear a lot of people getting so fixated on kills, but if you understand what the kills are even for in the first place, you'll get an actual much better understanding of when a high MMR player would say that was worth it. That was a good kill. Because it's like, oh, previously we could not take this tower, but then we killed the guy and got the tower. Previously, that Skywrath mage kept stopping me from pulling hard camp, and then Pango came over and killed him, and now we get to pull. And it's like, we're getting a much clearer idea of why we're killing people. That's actually such an important part of Dota, and it only happens if you do the thing you're supposed to do first. And then when people get in the way, you kill them. So I almost think it could be baiting you guys that people in your bracket probably run at you too much, and just kind of feed a lot. Like, so for me, it's like pulling the big camp as often as possible. I would then have to see what your lane looks like after that. Like, what do you guys do when you pull the big camp? What is your, like, I would have to see how you manage that. I would want to see you at the Wisdom Shrine at 7 minutes every game. I would want to see that. So I told my 500 MMR player something similar, where the lane, when it's here, we're either pulling it back or shoving it into tower and diving. Those are the two options when the lane's there. When the lane's back here, we're either killing them or I'm stacking.
Okay.
Those are the two options, because one of them plays for efficiency, giving my offlaner solo XP and we're getting stacks, which is like double efficiency. Or the other one is, oh, we're really strong and we can kill them when we're this far up. And that's just to get, like, what I'm saying is, if I watch you guys play, I would want to see that the lane's right here. You're either consciously going on them right there or you're stacking. One or the other. And as long, I don't care if the one you're doing is technically not right. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I care I care that you know the optimal play and you're doing one of the two. That's what I care about. And if you consistently recreate that, what would happen is, after 1,000 games, naturally, you will have a very good sense of which one is better win. You know what I mean? Very good sense. So that's what we want to do in terms of creating consistency here. I might
first I need to
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're go ahead.
First I need to move the game to where it should be.
Yes.
And then relearn what I've kind of our synergy at this point. So we're just gonna shift it back and then kind of start over from there.
Yes, you're gonna reset, and what's gonna happen is, once you get this stuff down, you guys, I would assume people in your type of situation where you already have pretty good synergy with your friend and you guys already have like pretty decent spell casting, you've done the harder part. So at some point you'll get this down and then you'll kind of cruise through like a 500 MMR block, because that's the part you're supposed to learn how to cast spells. Do you know what I mean? So I know it's, in theory, for a lot of people when they're learning Dota, it's like the first thing they do need to do is learn how to, like, what spells their hero has and shit. Like, they do need to learn this very basic stuff. But like, I can assume that every player who's played this game for a few years knows the heroes they're playing to some degree. You know, like, they have a strong understanding of the spells that their hero has. So what's keeping you guys here is not related to spells. The only person I would talk to about spells is somebody who told me they loaded up Dota this year and they're trying to get better. You know, like, first time they've ever played. And I'd be like, okay, let's talk about some spells. You know?
Yeah.
But in your case, or a lot of Dota players' case, because majority of people I've coached are not in that realm of new. They're usually a few years at least. We don't want to talk about spells too much. I need to open my door real quick. It's really hot in here.
You're good. Zena, chill out. It's okay.
Man, it's crazy that's hot in here when it's fucking winter. Oh, this heater
Right.
is actually really warm. I'll have to talk to my girlfriend about that later. Okay. So, any questions about anything I've just said?
No. It seems pretty simple. Things I know that I should be doing that I'm kind of not. So pull the lane as often as possible, keep it under the tower, and then if I have it under the tower, we're either killing them or I'm going to stack.
Perfect. Nailed it. That's the laning stage. That'll be nice, smooth, and consistent, hopefully, over time. Okay.
That was bad. Cookie. I saw my team there. Thought if I got a stun, we could get a little advantage. And then
I've got a nice... Okay.
Myself.
There's one thing we're not going to talk about at all in this. And do you know what that is? Team fight selection. We're not going to talk about that at all. And I hope you understand why in a second. What I need in these games is that for the first 15 minutes of the game, no lane goes unfarmed. So right now, where do you need to go?
To mid, okay.
There's nobody there.
And take take that farm. Okay.
Yeah, get yourself level 6 without this guy. Let this guy get level 6. You'll have like a stick and stuff. You'll fly yourself a clarity and a smoke. You'll like, your Wind Ranger respawns. You smoke him back to bottom because you're level 6 and this guy's level 6. And you kill some bitches. But the whole point is that's fight selection. So I literally said the opposite of what I said I was going to do. What I told people is that lanes need to be farmed at all times. Period. The entire point of the game is we want one person farming each lane. Anything we do from that for the first 15 minutes is extra. Bounty runes, power runes, stacking camps. And the reason why we do those things is because we're like, okay, Pango can farm the lane where it is by himself. Great. I'm going to get to do these other things now. So, but the first check mark that needs to be checked is one person is farming each lane. I watched the guy that was 500 MMR. I watched his game from minute 8 to minute 15. There were 7 waves between minute 8 and minute 15 that went unfarmed mid. 7. Okay? I guarantee you it's at least 3 in almost all of your games. I need that to be 0. That as a support is one of the #1 jobs of a low MMR support. No offense to the low MMR thing. That mid lane gets farmed. So you're going to need different items. You're going to need raindrops. You're going to need this. Don't buy Tranquils on Snapfire. This hero buys mana boots. Because she needs a lot of fucking mana to farm. And you're going to farm. You know, I'm going to get you to farm. Like, I know we can't do all of it in one session, but we're going to get you to fucking farm. Okay? So the #1 responsibility for you first is getting the lane to here, as we discussed. This is in regards to farming that I'm talking to you about now. #1, get lane here. #2, win lanes here, and I don't feel like I need to be here, or I'm not like super impactful here, meaning like they're playing really defensively, or like Pango or my hero combo doesn't kill people. Whatever the reason is, once the lane is here, if I don't feel super impactful, I can just go stack. That's the second thing that supports do for farming. The third thing is past like 5-6 minute mark. That's when heroes sometimes start rotating. You never fucking know what you're going to get in your games. Your carry might go rotating. Your mid might go rotating. Your mid might literally sit mid farming for the 20 minutes. You don't know what you're going to get. But not a single wave goes unfarmed, especially in the mid lane. Are you with me?
Well, I think we can do that because our third friend is our mid, and that's the other guy we play with, so we can communicate that pretty easy.
Great. Fantastic. I would love to see, if you guys watched any of your replays prior to this, between the 3 lanes, how many lanes went unfarmed by the 15-minute mark? I'd be curious what the answer is.
Probably pretty high.
I would be curious. There's no like hard deadlines in Dota. Like when I say 15 minutes, it's like arbitrary. You know what I mean? Because you would like to keep that as long as possible. But the thing is, the reason why you end up not doing it anymore is because at some point all the offlaners have blink daggers and shit, and they kill people if you show in 3 lanes at once. Like, But the beauty of supports like Snapfire, and part of why she's so broken right now, is that you can theoretically farm all 3 lanes, because when you clear a wave, you can cookie your range and stick out or shot the lane from like 1,000 range. And it's like, you don't even have to show for like more than a second. But what you do need for that is a lot of fucking mana. You know, it's 100 mana and 100 mana. You need 200 mana to clear a wave. Once you get shard, you only need 100 mana. And that's why everybody on Snapfire rushes shard by 15 minutes. So what I need to never see in your games again?
You need to never see me buy Tranquils or...
No, I'm looking at the mid lane.
Oh. Mid lane going unfarmed.
Yeah. So what you can do if you have your ultimate is you can push mid and then go with your ultimate. It's a little bit oversimplifying right now. Dota's not this simple, but in honesty, in all reality, you'll win more games doing this than any other thing you'll do. I promise.
Well, I mean, I'm going to get more items, be more stronger for those fights that we're taking.
Yes, exactly. And so you would be looking at the map right now and be thinking, are any of the lanes missing farm right now? And you'd be like, oh, they're pushing in this lane right here. There's 2 guys pushing right here. So I'm going to farm this camp because it's going to be about 15 seconds before this pushes forward. So I'm going to farm this camp, and then I'm going to go get this wave. That's how your brain
and-
needs to think.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Because we're anticipating where all that's going to be, so I can get extra golden experience from that camp close by, and then I'm right there if I need to be there.
Fantastic. And then what happens is that lines up with this. You clear this camp, you clear this wave that's coming in, and then you either smoke yourself or TP top with your ult, you know?
Yeah.
But what happens, I see a lot, is supports walking to fights a lot in your games. I see it a lot. And we need to never do that. We just need to not do that. So right now, I just implore everyone watching, just watch these mid lane and bottom lane. Just watch this. Just watch it.
Yep.
Don't engage in this shit. Don't engage. I've had to tell people who are 3K MMR, guys, stop hitting fucking tier 2 towers. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting triggered.
All right.
I'm actually, I mean, it's been a bit delayed because of just IRL logistic stuff, but I'm officially planning to start it this week. My friend, my Airfon, the other coach, and I, he's helping me write effectively a script / series for, okay, guys, here's the fundamentals of Dota that you need to fucking know. and it's all meant to be a compilation that tells you to hit fucking creeps. Like, it's going to be like 10 videos of understanding that says, hit fucking creeps. Everything you do in the game, kill heroes, kill towers, it's to hit fucking creeps. And if I ask you, killing this tower, how does that help you hit creeps? And if the answer is it doesn't, then you don't kill the tower. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, when you guys kill heroes, that's fantastic that you guys killed heroes, and yeah, tier 1 towers are a bit different. Now, somebody on your team should TP bottom, somebody on your team should walk mid, and the other guy should go over here and jungle. That's what needs to happen right now. Because that's the maximum amount of creeps that the 3 of you can hit. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And the most important thing, I told the other guy, because he said, my teammates are never going to do that. I said, well, you need to not do that. Like, you need to be one of those 3 spots. You need to either TP bottom, or you can't because you TP top. You need to walk mid, or you need to go back and farm that big camp. One or the other. You know, or one of the 3. The point is, when we get kills, when we kill towers, it's to get more creeps. This tower here opens up these camps to potentially farm them. This tower doesn't actually make these camps any safer for you. So this tower does literally nothing in regards to creeps. What I never want to see, guys, is this and this.
Free farm going
And
away.
this. That's all you, baby. That's how you get out of these games, bro. It's all you. Like, you're an amazing support to deal with this. You're an amazing support. So I want to see mana boots. I want to see a shard as close to 15 minutes as possible. Ideally, you have it right at the 15-minute mark. I want your score of your 3's success of how many creep waves go unfarmed by 15 minutes. That is your guys' gauge for success. Any smokes and shit that happen are smoking 1 or 2 of you to another guy that's farming creeps. Like, you clear mid wave and then you smoke to the guy down here, you know? Or you literally clear a wave and then you smoke. Because you're like, oh, we took care of this lane, let's go smoke. And there's no other lane to take care of right now. Do you know what I mean? That's the mantra for when you smoke. And first off, I don't even think I've seen you buy a smoke. But maybe you did. So I don't want to...
Not this game, I don't think.
Yeah, so you have a Pango. I think it's really good that, like, you have damage, he has stuns. You guys should definitely have the playmaking potential. So I think if we can get you first doing the creep waves, that's number 1 priority. And then what happens is, when you guys get a good gauge of, we feel confident that, like, almost all of the creep waves are getting farmed in the first 15 minutes, then you can, after that, you can implement, hey, BSJ told me that the best time to smoke is right after we clear a wave together, and we think that the opponent is going to go clear a wave, or we know that they're probably in a jungle somewhere. But we have that information because we pushed this wave in. You know?
Okay.
So that's going to be your mantra for smoking. Like I said, first step, that's your score. You know, you're going for golf here. You're going for golf scores. We want as low as possible with how many creep waves go unfarmed by 15 minutes. That can even extend to 20, to be honest with you. some games. Especially, the only reason, remember, that the amount of people showing goes down is because of gank threat. That's the only reason it goes down. So if you guys have heroes like Snapfire and Pango that can just clear a wave from super long range or really fast, then you can probably show on lanes longer into the game. Because Pango will just swashbuckle shield crash, you'll just cookie scatter blast, and then you can go do some other stuff, you know?
Yeah. So my only question so far on the things we've kind of talked about, when do I decide that I'm going to farm a camp versus stack it? Is it after, so many minutes? Do I just switch?
Are you talking about stacking for yourself? Or are you talking about stacking for other people?
Not for me. Because you were saying, like, when we have it under tower, I'm either stacking a camp. So now that we're kind of past, like we've taken that bottom tower, is that when I switch to, okay, I'm going mid because nobody's there. Or bottom, nobody's there. And then I take a camp on my way to mid, or am I stacking it on my way to mid after that?
So lanes are number one priority, like I said earlier. So learning to stack, learning to pick up bounty runes, learning to do literally anything else in the fucking game, let's just break it down like that, including stacking, is because lanes are now taken care of.
Okay.
So what that means is you're like, okay, looks like our mid's farming mid, our 5 is farming top, our off lane is farming off lane. I have time to go stack a camp. I have time to go check a rune. I have time to go ward somewhere. I have whatever. So when you're stacking, the reason why it's more likely to happen in lane when you pull the lane back to here is because nobody's really moving yet, So that's generally going to be a really good time where you're like, I'm not needed in lane right here because the lane's all the way back here at 3 minutes into the game. I'm going to go stack right now. But when we're talking like 10, 11, 12, 15, all that kind of stuff, I'd say the later in the game you go, the less likely it is you're going to stack. But the number one event trigger for stacking is I literally have nothing else to do in the game.
Okay.
And the most important thing that is the something else is lanes. Now,
so right now we're
good.
Where the game's paused, I should be TPing to bottom as soon as I can to take that farm.
Yes, you should, yeah. But the idea is that the problem now is when you stay with your team for too long, you end up having your ultimate and then you TP away from your team, which feels really bad. So what we want to do is use our ultimate like this, win a fight or whatever. Like this fight happens, great. And then during the time that we now have lowish resources and no ultimate, I want you to TP mid right now, blast this out, like ward sentry right here, and then go blast this out. And then by like 70 seconds from now, your TP's up again and you're ready to join your team if you can. It's really important to go away from your team as soon as possible after you've cast spells, because then you don't want to end up with lanes to fix, because you didn't do that. You don't want to end up with lanes to fix now that your ultimate's up again. And
we wasted a lot of time together not getting XP when we got all those kills.
Yes,
right?
you did not capitalize on those kills at all.
Right.
The real benefit of killing people is the extra 500 gold of CS that everyone's getting on your team. Like, the kill goes from 350 gold for killing the hero to 850 gold. Do you see what I mean? That's like, that's the big difference. So what happens when you don't do that is this. And then somebody on your team's like, I guess we have to go down there. And then what happens is nobody wants to leave because you feel bad leaving your teammates here. And then you just get in this everlasting loop of not farming.
Yep.
So the most important part is right after you cast your spells. It's very good on Snap's a great hero to practice this on. I think she should be your number one to practice this on, because she has a long cooldown ultimate that she doesn't really want to fight outside of, and she has great spells for clearing waves. Never buy Dragonlance again.
Yes, sir.
Buy Shard and then items that keep you alive. So it can be either lens for positioning, it can be Solar Crest, it can be Glimmer Capes, Force Stabs. You can go Blink Ags in some games if you feel like you need to have that sick late game save against like Legion Duel or something, you know. But the idea is that your entire role in this game is to clear waves survivably. You need to have enough mana to do that, and you need to not feed while you're doing that.
Am I taking the right facet on her?
Is that the
long shot?
Yeah,
basically?
that's the correct one, yeah. Yeah, that's the correct one. But the most important thing about this, because there might be a patch that comes out, is that, you know, I will be making meta updates and stuff like this. I will be telling you guys this concept of what supports are doing, it's broken no matter what patch it is. There's just going to be certain heroes that do it better. Like,
Right.
part of why Hoodwink became meta again was because people realized, wow, if I just go shard at 15 minutes, like, this hero nukes waves from trees. Like, you can't gank this hero. She's a support that just clears waves from 1,000 range. And then people were like, wait, Snapfire just clears waves from 1,000 range. Like, what? Like, that's really annoying. Wait, Viper? Suddenly a meta hero? Why? Because he can clear waves from 1,000 range. It's like, the idea of clearing creep waves with 1 or 2 spells on a low cooldown from 1,000 range is absurd. Like, if you think about how I'm telling you what's important in Dota. Like, that's absurd, right? Any hero that can do that.
They can't gank you as easily.
Yeah.
You're getting all that CS.
Yep.
And then you're moving on to whatever the next important task
yeah,
is.
Which is to potentially farm more with camps. It's potentially to gank them. It's potentially to get runes. It's bounty runes. There's so much to do in the game. So last thing we want to do is make ourselves vulnerable and at risk on lanes for a long time. So the best way to do that is to just pick a hero that never shows and clears the wave instantly. And so then we get a bunch of items. Then we buy those items that keep us alive longer. The enemy has no information. You spend that time connecting to your team because you've cleared all the waves, and like the opponent's still busy clearing these waves because they're slower than you. You kill them on the waves, or they're just not farming the waves. So you have an extra, 200 gold from that lane every minute. Like whatever is actually happening, that's how you win the game. That's the consistent way that Dota provides you with to win the game. Like, it doesn't matter what the other 9 heroes in the games do. There will always be the creeps walking down the lanes at every 30 seconds. The jungle camps will spawn every minute. The runes spawn every 2. The wisdom shrine every 7. The game gives you tools to win. And we just need to do that better than the opponent. We don't need to worry about all the noise, all the bullshit, all the things our teammates are saying, doing, not doing. That's like, I'm noticing a lot of my coaching signups recently, even the people who are like 2 to 3K, I think there's been a serious, like, for whatever reason, like, I think there's various reasons. I have hypotheses. Whether it's because there's people like yourself that are coming back to the game and playing with friends. I think friends makes this more difficult because people tend to have a negative view of farming. Like, I'm being AFK, I'm not helping the team, I'm being selfish. They tend to have a negative view of farming. So with friends, you want to buddy up with them more often. Like, that's a reason. I think people in general flame people who farm too much, when in reality, the people who are farming too much are probably farming the right amount most of the time. So then there's like this toxicity. There's this, like, I think there's like 4 or 5 different dynamics that are leading to all of the people I'm in my community. Maybe they resonate with me because I have these problems too. I don't know. And they're just not farming. I've noticed it across everybody.
Am I?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're
Am
fine.
I wrong? Most of the time, I try to talk with like our rando teammates here and there, whether it's verbally or text chat. But if they, for whatever reason, just ignore us, or they're like annoying on the ping, like at 10 minutes, I just mute the people that are giving me useless information.
For me, my goal is that I am confident, and this is hard to do, by the way, and I'm still not consistently doing it. My goal is that I am confident in what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I will communicate what I'm doing and occasionally why I'm doing it. Like, occasionally. Meaning, like, it's sometimes hard to articulate. A lot of the times it's hard to articulate why. Like, I'm not going to explain to my teammates why I'm clearing each creep wave. You know what I mean? But so, like, but it's really important that you don't just TP away from your team bottom and not say anything.
Right.
Right. So that's what I mean by, like, the things I'm doing, like TPing away from my team. There's things in the game that we do need to tell our teammates. Otherwise, there's kind of like that lack of trust. Like, if somebody does, like, I had a PL go Battle Fury, and I unironically after the game think he was trying out a build, realized it was trash, and found himself having to build 4 items before he had any impact. And in the game itself, my mid got so pissed at him for not fighting, because the guy never said anything. He got so pissed at him for not fighting that he eventually just moved command followed him in a game that we were a 70% chance to win. Okay? And we ended up losing, of course. And my point is that I blame the puck for move command following him, but I also know that if that PL had ever said anything, I would have felt better. I don't know if this guy's AFK intentionally or not. I really have no idea. You know what I mean? I actually have no idea. And the majority of Dota players will assume the worst. I mean, majority of people in general will assume the worst from what they're seeing. Our brain will look for an explanation, and we will assume the worst. So we see a guy going Battle Fury, Manta Ags, and he hasn't shown up to a single fight. The 99% of Dota players will assume he's griefing. But if the guy says, I wanted to try Battle, like 20 minutes in, I wanted to try Battle Fury, I don't know how to participate in fights, I need these 3 items, and then we can go. Like, if he says that,
it changes our mindset and how we play.
It makes it way less likely that somebody's going to break their items. And at least you understand why he's doing what he's doing, you know? For me, I've realized so much of this is that if you're going to go against people's expectations, it needs to be communicated because you understand what their expectations are. And if they get upset with you for going against their expectations when you clearly communicated it, that's a them problem. Like, think about real life, right? You communicate you communicate something, and somebody gets mad at you for doing what you said you're gonna do. It's like, how would you handle that in real life? You know what I mean? It's like, well, you wouldn't be okay with it. You wouldn't just take that shit, right?
Right.
So when you're asked about muting your teammates, I said that this is for me too. My goal is to be confident in what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, communicate what I'm doing, and occasionally communicate why I'm doing it. And if somebody on my team, real quick, if somebody on my team is being incredibly disruptive and it's making me have a tough time doing that, then I mute them.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like I've recently had some games and it's just like incessant pinging on top of me, and I'm like, well, now we're both doing nothing because we're both.
That feels terrible.
Those are the people typically. Like I didn't mute this ogre or the Veno, even though we were upset because this is a roll queue and he went Veno one, which I don't know if that's.
I think you mean Viper, but same thing. I think
Viper. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, fine.
At least in our experience, we think he's more the offlane guy.
I mean, just to be honest, like anybody who plays a decent amount of Dota looks at this build and says he's got the wrong facet. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Why does he take this facet and then max this? Like, this is literally a facet for this spell. Like, you just look at this guy and you're like, dude, I'm in this guy's bracket. Can I just go clear some waves?
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it. Like, I know for the majority of us, it feels really bad to think this guy's in our games. Like, there's some times where I play with people in my games and I'm like, even at 11K sometimes, I'm like, it feels really bad that this guy's in my game. And, you know, that's an ego problem for me. But I know what you're saying. There's a lot of chaos in these games. People are going to pick weird shit. They're going to pick shit that's not supposed to be in the position. They're going to play item builds that make no fucking sense. But what happens is the common factor between all of this, whether it's their communication, their item builds, the heroes they're picking, it's a lack of consistency. I promise each and every one of you that is the #1 trait, that it gets worse the lower MMR you go. It's still the same for like 2K, 3K players. But at somewhere around like 3K, 4K, there are players who are consistent and really good at what they do, but they're really one-trick ponies. Like, they don't look at the game holistically. They just do like one aspect of the game like insanely well. And they can get to like 3K, 4K. And then they hit a fucking wall. So I've seen it in many different shapes and forms. People who are like insanely good at farming, people who are insanely good at spellcasting, people who are insanely good at whatever, and they just can't do anything else. And they get to like 3K or 4K. So there are a lot of reasons that people get stuck. But one thing that is true for everybody below 4K-ish is that they are inconsistent. So for you guys, just what we want to do is like, so Snapfire, you're coming back. We're going to give you a quick meta update, okay? We want to have 1 point in this and then max out these 2 skills. At level 10, what's broken on your hero is that you get a shard around the time you're level 10 and you take the 35 Mortimer Kisses DPS. Your shard one-shots creeps. Like, you cookie your range, and it one-shots the wave. Okay? So, and then your entire build is around Cookie at that point. So you take the left talent at 10, the left talent at 15, the left talent at level 20, and then the left talent at level 25. And you are a fucking machine with cookies on waves. You can use your cookie to save your teammates as well. And then you are, you're fucking insane damage with this thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why late game I had some trouble because I literally went the entire right tree and built it
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
Shredder.
Yeah, for sure. This used to be how Snap was played, but as a core. But this used to be how she was played.
In a niche, like, say I'm playing against a PL, because that guy, we call him Cancer Lancer. Is it okay in that regard to try to burn through his illusions?
Let me look it up here. I didn't even know this at the time. Let me look at the game. I played against the coach who joined my community. He was playing Snap against PL. I was PL, he was Snap. Let me find the game. Yeah, right here. This guy fucking destroyed me. Do I have this game saved? No, I don't. All I'll say is this. He had Octarine Core with these spellcasting items. I literally, like, fucking died to this guy solo at minute 35 or something. Actually, it's like minute 50, I think I died to him solo. Where it doesn't show damage or something? For some reason, it's not showing any of the numbers. But my point is that I fucking died to spellcasting Snap because it's a ton of AoE with the... Like, look at how late this game went. But this guy literally fucking murdered me on Snapfire. So I don't think you need to... If you're thinking to deal with PL with, like, Lil Shredder Maelstrom, you need to deal with PL by having a bunch of cookies and, like, spellcasting items that play around your ultimate. And then your ultimate level 25 is how you deal with this hero. And since you're in your bracket, you probably will have a lot of games randomly go late. For reasons that are not in your control. And so that's how you build against PL, for instance. I think right now, objectively speaking, that build is way better than anything you'll do with Little Shredder. That Little Shredder build was super broken like a year and a half ago, and they nerfed the shit out of it. And every buff they've given Snapfire has been to this build that I'm telling you. So there are a lot of exceptions in Dota. But I think on Snapfire, there is, like, we have been in this meta for long enough. It's very clear what makes her good.
Okay.
So I would stick to it for now. But when a new patch comes out and you want to try to recreate this formula of clearing waves, getting items, and scaling, feel free to experiment with new things. Absolutely. Just, I think if you can learn this formula and why it's good, you can get better at recreating it yourself and go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Man, we are at about the time, so do you have any final questions or thoughts that went unanswered or things that can help you moving forward out of here?
I know I kind of cut you off when you were giving me some good 4 and 5s. So I'll start spamming Snap more out of my current list. I'm slightly comfortable with Hoodwink, so I'm okay with that being a second option. What would you say are some, like, a third option I can add in there?
I don't hate Muerta. Like, if you want to play a hero you really like playing, Muerta's fine. She's not like meta, but I know the patch is coming soon anyways. And she clears waves decent. She doesn't do it the same way Snap does from super long range, but...
Leap gets you out?
Yeah, Leap gets you out. You can walk up to the wave and Starstorm, usually leap away. There's, like, certain matchups that are bad for you, but a lot of the matchups aren't that bad. You can get a decent amount of scaling on her. You can play to pull the lane back and then stack the big camp and the triangle while arrowing it for some XP. So, like, you can play for efficiency on Muerta. I think she's a pretty good efficiency support if played properly. So if you want to just stick with a comfort hero, I think that's fine for you.
And then lastly, since we're on the topic of Muerta, what would you say would be your build at pause 4? Just overall build, and obviously every now and then, you make changes.
I mean,
based on how
I've
games
always
go.
thought the most impactful Muerta is to go items that give you mana and keep you alive on the map. So, like, strongly considering, like, mana boots into Greaves, items like Solar Crest potentially, like a lot of buff up items for my teammates. Your kind of utility that way. The other option, if you want to go like Giga Chad, is to go mana boots, Ags, into stuff like that. she's not really meta right now, so I don't think there's like some super optimal build that makes her good. But
Yeah.
I think as long as you're under the impression that I'm supposed to buy items, I'm supposed to clear waves, I'm supposed to scale, I'm supposed to buy items that keep me alive first and foremost, and potentially help the team in the process. As long as you follow that formula, I actually would encourage you to have some creativity on the hero that is not meta and a comfort zone hero for you. Like you
You
can
like
go ahead.
Halberd on her?
Halberd is just a really, really bad item right now. So just don't buy
Okay.
that item. Yeah.
Copy. All right,
There's
cool.
I think your best options are drums, solar crest, spirit vessel, ags. I'd say those are the most reasonable. Maybe Yule Scepter or Atos to set up for kills. I'd say those are like the only reasonable mid-tier items I would buy on that hero.
Is it her Starstorm facet is the better
Yeah,
one?
the Starstorm facet's the one people take, yeah.
Okay.
Sweet, man. Any final questions?
No, I think I got a lot to digest, and if I add more to it, I'll forget some of the other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think this was very helpful, and I'm gonna put into practice what we talked about, and you'll probably hear from me again.
Awesome, man. Even if you don't sign up again, I'd love to hear if there's progress in a few months or something with your friends. I'd love to hear it. So don't
All
be
right.
shy. Have a good one, man.
Perfect. You too.
Yep. Okay. Stop recording. Honestly, I probably just need to play some snap support because I feel really awkward in these coaching sessions not playing a meta support. And it's not like she's super like she's not like amazingly easy, but what makes her broken is pretty straightforward. I might miss some cookies here and there, but I am no stranger to just farming and hitting creeps. You know what your MBTI is? It's been a really long time since I did it. It's been a really long time. I might have to do it again for funsies. I'm going to quickly go to the restroom, and then we're going to queue a game of Dota. Is this coaching or a weekly class? Yeah, so the beginning of my Monday streams, I always do a weekly class, and then this coaching session was somebody who signed up separately. Taze's Fighter, thanks for the 3 months, dude. No problem. Thanks for the YouTube content. Yeah. Do I not have audio on? What's going on here? I do have audio on. I don't want to queue yet because I can't hear anything. Gonna cancel the queue? What's going on? My computer? Question mark? My computer is pooping itself, guys. My computer go poopy. Coach me, BSJ. I'm stuck in Crusader. You can't just pick a solid hero anymore? I think as long as the hero's meta, you can definitely just pick a solid hero. It does, like, it's not as easy as just, like, picking any hero in the game for sure. Oh, I need to re-copy paste my carry experiment hero thing because I've been not enjoying what people are doing in my games. So I'm gonna try to be more assertive about playing carry. Holy shit, this item build is super outdated. I don't think any of these apply. I think drums is maybe a consideration. Octarine Core. Daedalus MKB's out of there. Guess we'll do that for now. Need like Glimmer Cape and Force stuff in my build. Early game MKB Daedalus, exactly. I mean, nothing wrong with an early game MKB. Look at this. Safe lane, safe lane, safe lane. Got my message ready. Oh wow, the guy did not pick the carry. I'm ready to offer the role to Leto Love. Come on. Come on, give the roll, dude. Didn't ask for much there. Oh, heard it. We'll do Warlock. Let's see. We have pretty shit catch. That works, I guess. Warlock, it makes more sense to go Deso than MKB. Yeah, you gotta like buff up the golem damage. EL against Pango. Yikers. I'm just gonna smoke us to get a ward up. I don't think we're doing anything. You're on more of a mid laner. I've seen it mid and carry pretty equally. Okay. Let's do our best to keep a composure. The games I've been playing recently have not been enjoyable. See if I can get a ward up over here. I took his W. Okay. The last time I played PL, my Warlock 5 took Fatal Bonds level 1, and I was really not happy with it. Because PL doesn't want to push the wave. Like, I'd much rather my Warlock have had W. Oh, 3 bounties. What the fuck are these creeps doing? Oof. Not bad. I think this is actually good for us. Nice. He really needed to let that range for good to have. Honestly, like, these deaths I don't think are that bad. But my PL doing what he's doing is, like, really bad. I don't know what he's doing. I just don't know what this guy's doing, to be honest. I guess I'm doing it too. I think I just overplayed my hand a bunch in this lane. Nature's Prophet kind of griefed himself, I think. Actually, I don't want to buy this stuff because I want to get boots. I'll stop and play this. I think he's fine under tower. I can heal him. We can push this wave together.
Высоко,
Farm stop.
вариант.
Guy has max land. Dude, he is like doubled on top of them. What the? Dude, he had Doppel to disengage, and he Doppeled on top of them. What's really been tilting me lately is I'm watching my carries do really stupid shit, and I keep getting stuck not playing carry, and it's like, the combo's like killing me. It's really killing me. And I know what I'm supposed to do is just focus on my own game, but it's really getting to me. Like, really getting to me. Really? I really wanted 6. I can probably pressure mid with my golem. I definitely think we just take mid though. wants us to play sides. Oh, Courage dead. That was fucking funny. That was fucking funny, dude. Gyrocopter. Oh. I honestly didn't even realize I had a gyrocopter.
Go left mid.
Drop me, or oh, you already did that. Oh. Didn't get him today. How's our PL doing? Got a Yasha? Honestly, I kind of just want to golem camps. Can you stack this? Can we try to kill this tower, Legion? I have my golems up.
Почему, типа, челы нажимают смог в топ, а вы ничего не делаете в боте? Я не понимаю.
Потому что им есть чем играть, а нам нечем.
Просто толкайте бот и мид в этот момент.
Ну вот так и делаем.
Хорош, нормально. Стоят Т2 бьют, ребят, 13 минута. Может, у Диза нет ульты, ребят. короче, го ФК. Пусть ломает.
It could be worse. Honestly, I want to go Midas. Oof. That sucks. I think I need to go Glimmer, but I really want to go Midas with the way this game is looking. I might have to go Glimmer, though. I think Midas is groofing. I think I just have to go Glimmer. Like, I think if I don't go Glimmer, we just, like, lose the game.
Под меня в топ смог нажмите, они в меня идут в топ. Это же очевидно.
You have Blink? Yeah.
Я буду глубже толкать линию.
I mean, I don't...
Нормально, братишка, под Т1, да? Я тебя понял на ЛЦ.
Easy fucking... Let's see what he has to say. Oh, very good. Okay, I want to maybe go Midas now. Not sure, actually. I'm gonna just keep maxing heal because... I think this is like the only thing I can do in the game. These camps don't die very fast. Nice. Honestly, if I had like ran to him sooner, we would have I would have saved him. Ooh. Okay. All of them are bond. It's fine. Honestly, if they're keep ganking me like that, it's fine. I mean, the Shadow Demon dying, this is not fine.
Блок Фарион.
Movement speed and Dormant Cure.
Блок Фарион. Go, 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 kill, guys.
I can go mid with my
Oh.
golem. No Pango roll, guys. No Pango roll. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Every single pick from my carry in the last like 4 games has been so bad. And it's so hard to just suck it up. It's so hard to not be playing carry and have my guy earlier pick fucking Drow against Bounty Hunter Nature's Prophet and just die over and over again. And then have this guy pick PL into Pangolier. And it's just like, oh man. Like having these picks on my team when I'm not getting to play carry, it is super frustrating. Fuck, man. It's so tilting. It is actually so tilting. We also have like no stuns on the team, and he picks fucking PL. We have like no playmakers, and he picks PL. So frustrating. Like Solar Crest isn't even good here. I can't do that. Like, we literally have no plays to be made. We have Nature's Prophet, and we don't have plays. Do I just go, like, fucking Blink Dagger or something? Man, Dota's been demoralizing the last, like, 3 days. It's been demoralizing. Like, absolutely fucking demoralizing. I'm just going to keep the big wave. Like, I don't know what else to do in this game, so I'll just fucking golem some creeps. Like, there's literally nothing else to do. Hey, we got a tower. That's nice. I mean, okay, Legion Commander's like griefing, I guess. Dude, this is crazy, man. It's actually just been so many of my games lately. It's really bad. Like, all I need is for people to stop doing this. Dude, Lynch, man. Holy shit, long time no see. What's up, dude? Thanks for the sub. Hope it's all well with you, sir. There's definitely no point in playing when my Legion commander is going down lanes. Beating intentionally. I mean, the Legion's purposely feeding Gyro dual damage. So. How many games have I gotten to play carry? 1, 2, 3 out of... 3 out of the last 10 games. I lost the 2 games I played carry, to be fair. Not gonna lie to you guys though, these last few days have been pretty demoralizing. There's no sugarcoating it. I did get to golem some fucking camps this game. Oof, that. How do you emotionally deal with losses like these? In all honesty, after like 7 or 8, I think I just have to stop playing. Meaning, like, I've had... Like, my realization was I wanted to experiment a bit this weekend, playing like 2 or 3 games a day. And I think the only thing I can do is actually just not play those games. Because I was actually really enjoying Dota for a while, because I wasn't getting very many bad games. And I was like, oh, I actually feel like it'd be nice to like be a little bit more practiced up, play a little bit more on the weekends. Like I have some free time, I'm keeping it chill. But like I played a bit this weekend, and I actually played 6 games, and every single game was bad. Like it wasn't because they were all a loss, but like every single game was somebody in the game like breaking their items or flaming each other. Like every single game actually. And then today I played 2 more games, and it wasn't too far off from that experience. And I do think I'm currently in the state where I'm like pretty demoralized. Like I don't enjoy these games. So I think at the very least, I'm just gonna pick heroes that I find are fun. If I get stuck playing support again for some reason, I'll just pick Huskar and lane for like a minute and then go jungle. I'm at least gonna have some like fun right now because these games are like not even remotely fun, like at all. Oh, is my dinner here? Holy shit, delivery. Thank you, honey. You're not in camera until you're like here. Thank you, honey. Thank you, sweetie. Looks delicious. Ooh, salmon. I mean, it's funny because if the game's like boring to people, then why are they playing? Like, I hate how like people are toxic and everyone's just like, we need a new patch. That'll fix it. You had the exact same thing happen. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I would so badly like to play carry this game. That'd be so nice. I just want to play some fucking Battle Fury Ursa, Battle Fury Jug, Battle Fury Troll. I don't really care. I just want to fucking Battle Fury it up. Nah. Marcy's for bitches. Hmm. I'll go Ursa. Ugh. Nah, Marcy's for bitches, bruh. I had a feeling he might pick Joe because it's also good against Shaker Phoenix. These are terrible challenges. You are destroying the enemy carry's mental state one step at a time. Okay, so we're against OD. Is a bit annoying for this hero. What do you think about my starting items here? I think this is good. Yeah, this is good. Okay. We're going to try to take some pride in how we play this game. I feel like the worst thing that happens is you get in your own head so much that you think that nothing you do is good enough to win the game. And so when I'm thinking about this game, I feel like I'm going to need Scotty in my inventory. Otherwise, OD like one-shots me. I'm going to want a... Air Shaker's gonna fissure. Very good. I almost took so long to swap that item properly that my items are almost off cooldown. Good start, boys. We're playing carry and we got first blood. I think he got the splinter shot thing that does less damage. You got the proc on that. Oh! Oh my god, I thought I pushed it. I mean, honestly, I'm not upset about that trade simply because Snap's full while Dawn's not, and I didn't miss any creep. Most notably, I didn't miss any creeps. I did not mean to fairy fire there. Disaster. Dawn's just not hitting creeps, huh? Nice. Oh my god. This is a really random feed by him. I really want the neutral. Fuck, I didn't get it. Dude, this lane's been fucking crazy, man. Dude, how does he just get that hit off? Like, yeah, Dawn's 6.
I can fight it here. Unlucky.
Damn, I thought I'd clear that in time.
Be careful, I think OD wanna tip top. Oh, no, no, no.
Man, Arcane, Arcane, Arcane!
My invoker died solo, that's not good. Coming top. Kill the tower. Actually, I'm gonna clear this way first.
I'm coming top. You can fight with Link. No help.
Coming. Coming behind them. Wow.
Next.
I just want the tower done.
Go out. Stay alive.
I really do feel like the way to get past my MMR is just fight selection. Like, you only show up to like 1 or 2 fights, but the ones you choose are like really impactful. I feel like the way Kez has been showing up to fights is like pretty bad. Personally. I think I saw a ward. My Snapfire is like farming triangle. I don't know what item I want to go. It might just need to be BKB. Maybe I can get away with Yasha than BKB?
No, that's okay, sweetheart.
SNY is pretty bad this game, because it doesn't survive against OD. Like, it doesn't help me. Honestly, Blink might be my best item. It's an item that I'll want in my inventory eventually. And it's like a Yasha, because I don't think Yasha does much for me. My raindrops. I think I'm gonna go Blink. I think it's Blink and then BKB. Blink and then BKB and then Basher. I'm gonna go Blink.
Have I fast taken him because we have stuns? Or you shake, bro? You need to always control.
We can do Roche.
I coming top, bro. Let's go chill.
Like a really weird map
Smoke
positioning.
reveal.
ODT top.
I use spell.
I had nothing else to use my ulti on, and you know, Zeus ulti and shit. This is like one of those games where they have no stuns, and I know the game's gonna go late, so I need to think about like a 3-item combo. Rather than like, what's the next item, you know?
I have again, bro.
I want Blink, BKB, Basher, and I know I want, out of all those 3 items, I want BKB second and Blink first. And... I don't think we want to go on this guy.
I don't have.
Like, he really wanted to die there. What is going on this game, man?
Bro, I don't have mana. I stay on the base, and I see OD when I kill Shaker. I use PK and I have cooldown.
I really hate when people communicate like this Phoenix. They just say something like, "What are you doing?" There's like, and then you need to kill this guy. But it's like, do you guys know what I mean by like how unactionable that is? Can we, can I smoke with you? We can do Roche off this, I think. I do need help. Can I get Invoker coming from me, please?
I coming, bro.
Dude. I was like, if I get bashed and Zeus ulted, I'm gonna be so depressed.
I kill him alone. God.
I understand what kind of game I'm in. I just need to kill the fucking Zeus, honestly. He's so free for air. for farming him. Like, I can just farm this guy. Hey, this game is so bad. This guy have a helm dome? I just got 100 gold from that.
Go, let Shaker and go. I'm coming.
I mean, Shen's just kind of giving us creeps.
I'm here, I have wagon him. If you stun him, Shaker, I kill all now.
Air Shaker never pressed echo. Rough one. I would have died twice if I died there. So. And that's why you take points and stats. I think my best item's MKB here. I know they don't even have evasion, but I think my best item is MKB.
Нас пойдет, давай выйдем, огоним, бьем артефакт, Какой смоук? Нельзя смоук. Бля, у нас нет яйца, ёбаный в рот. Максимум, если вот застанете, стана не выпустите, я со страйк дам, там, блядь, молот.
What?
We can't kill him. We can kill him with you can ulti, bro, and he stunned him. Shaker.
There's no way that that guy gets away. There's no way. I think we should just be echo slamming solo targets and getting kills. We need to get kills. I think this is insane, actually. I don't have TP.
Чё, мне микрофон хуёвит?
I don't have TP, guys.
А, ну.
No OD there.
Блять, я зафейлился. Go out, Chica. It's my bad, my bad. Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй-яй-яй.
Oh, I'm dead.
I'm coming, bro. Oh, you dead.
Honestly, I thought I'd kill him so fast that I could walk away. I thought I would kill the Zeus and then run left, but OD was able to connect. Because it took me much longer than I thought. No ulti. It's a huge kill. Nice, let's go.
Брат, санстрайка нет. Тут кес где-то, они сейчас, возможно... Да, сюда.
Yeah, this game is so fucking bad.
О, сейчас сюда, смотри. Читаю, смотри.
Like, this game is so bad, dude.
Я лакоти кинул, улетаю.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Чена, вот так вот направляю.
I'm just hard countered by a fucking OD, so I need to play like a fucking maniac on the map.
Да уже нет. Я думал, он туда пойдет за мной, наверное. А кто его знает?
Yeah, 1.3k for killing OD. Pretty wild, actually. Try to play for Roche. In later fights, I'll need you guys to go first and bait out spells.
Мне просто может...
The problem is I can never really go for solo kills because of Dawn. Sucks a lot.
Чуть перестать. Не умри, конечно. Чуть-чуть подождать. Блядь, что за хуйней вы страдаете, блядь, Ллойды, нахуй? Кроме, конечно, не моя команда может. Давайте, погнали. Погнали! Файт за жизнь! Файт за игру! У меня Керри умер! Чем? Why we killing Roche, bro? Stay behind. Don't give him kill him. Farm Slain.
I mean, I pressed BKB like 0.2 seconds, 0.1 seconds after he hexed me. Like, it was really fucking close. Sadly. Like, I actually thought I got it off. Because if I get it off, I might actually, like, kill everybody. Oof. He's alive, that's pretty huge. I need to somehow be patient with the items I've built. I don't know what items I could have built to not be patient. Maybe this needs to be a Lincoln's, but I thought I needed damage. Maybe it just needs to be a Lincoln's. I mean, it's too late now, but... I actually think just what happened in this game was we missed like 2 crucial kills because of no Echo Slam usage on solo targets, and then we just couldn't snowball the map with our lead. But that's no longer the case anymore. Like, the game's not in that state, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Do I have a hex? No. It really sucks to die to a hero one shot in a way that I can't play around. You have hex? Or blink, I mean? I think I would have one-shot me if I blinked on the creep wave. The problem with having MKB instead of like Lincoln's is that I can't go refresher either.
Надо ловить такого, как ДБ, который будет всегда ходить одна, отпушивать лайны. И сейчас все вот там в топе, блядь. Помочь. Прилететь, помочь. Похуй, мне опять.
Can we try to kill whoever's bottom? You say, Sugar? Oh god, dude. Why is my shaker TPing out? Fuck!
А что он мне даст? Тут, дружище, блядь, я один тут не убью никого, мне не хватит просто дэмэджа. Дружище, ты посмотри на их, блядь, КП нахуй, ёбана в рот. Ты кого учишь, дружище? Купленный идиот, чувачочек, блядь. 1900 ранга, блядь. Ебанатик, нахуй. Перестаньте ходить по одному и дохнуть, блядь. И вот и все, блядь.
No BKB on Kez, guys. No BKB on Kez. Can you please echo slam me, dude? Thank you. Literally had to be launched in by fucking Snapfire. That's crazy. Literally fucking crazy that that's what like, I'm just in awe of this game, actually. Literally the game-winning play and he TP's out. It's so depressing, actually. No BKB OD, no BKB. It's so depressing to be playing this OD matchup, because like, if I'm not in this OD matchup, I can just win the game. Okay, well,
Жестко он меня наяривает.
Ooh.
Конечно, мать.
Easy game.
Нихуя, спасибо, что называешь меня.
Honestly, Snapfire like fucking carry in the game. I'll give credit where it's
Мне
due.
похуй, ебал твою мать. Помимо мамы расходуют здоровье. Помимо маны расходуют здоровье. Отличное животное, блядь. Да, очень жалко. Очень жалко, но я хочу опять снова сказать, что твоя мать шлюха, правильно? Ты знаешь, с чем это связано?
I'll give credit where it's due. Snapfire carry. Can you be ready to alacrity me? I can kill these guys before OD responds. 10 seconds.
Don't die without time. Destroy America and go out.
Yeah, just get out. Go rush, go rush. Okay, might not be up.
Control active room, maybe we have D and we can want to control.
I'm farming a Lincoln's, guys. I almost have it. Okay, so I need to buy a refresher now. And I'll probably sell this MKB for it. The Kez is right here. Kez is right here. Careful, careful, careful. I hope my team does something with this. Wow, we actually killed OD to start, and we're all dead. Anybody on this Kez? Damn. Wow, we actually killed OD to start and lost. The fact that Invoker doesn't have his refresher, I think he really needs that. I don't think they're gonna get 2 lanes here. I'm pretty shocked that Kez did not die to me there. This MKB was a mistake for sure. I need a refresher real bad. They're gonna get Aegis probably. really crazy how Dota players are just like they take no accountability for how they communicate. I'm watching, guys. I'm gonna try to split push. Be careful. Never mind. Wow. GG. I think we could have not taken that fight, and I could have split pushed. But we took the fight. My MKB was a really big mistake here. If that MKB was a Lincoln's, and then I had a refresher here, we can win this game. So this MKB was a pretty huge throw. Sadly. I didn't really know what to buy, but in hindsight, it should have been a Lincoln's. Like, I literally can't hold either of the two. It's an itemization issue for sure. If I don't BKB, I get hexed. If I don't ulti, then I don't do a relevant amount of damage during the BKB. The vision I lacked for that game was that I definitely needed refresher. I realized it when it was too late. And by the time I knew I realized it, I didn't have an item that enabled it. I needed Scotty or Lincoln's. So that's why we lost that game, I think. I mean, those are, at least in that game, I got to, like, make decisions that were relevant and lose the games for reasons that are not people breaking their items. Happened to the Scotty plan. I thought I needed to kill people on the map, and then I realized I couldn't kill people on the map because the Dawnbreaker ulti was consistently going to threaten me from being able to kill people. Even though I thought in hindsight, like I thought even with Dawn ulti I could kill people, but then once the game played out, I'm like, I can't go on people. So I thought I needed to build to kill them. I mean, the MKB was a huge throw. I just didn't know what to buy there. And I didn't think the survival through OD was a plan after the beginning of the game. And at the end of the day, I just needed an item that enabled refresher. So it needed to be this or Scotty. And based on the fact that this guy was really fat and he had a hex, it definitely needed to be like right here. I needed a Lincoln's, just right here. This needed to be a Lincoln's. I have a Lincoln's here, and then I go probably refresher straight from the Lincoln's. Actually, I probably go Lincoln's right here, and then I'll have a refresher right around like here. Instead of this abyssal, I'll have a refresher like right here. Maybe an earlier shard too, because shard's pretty fucking good. But yeah, it was a lack of having the refresher. That was the problem. If I have refresher, I'm actually pretty beastly there. This is the first troll game I've played where I needed a refresher, but it's good to remember. It's good to get a refresher on the type of games I would need refresher. I'd say it's games where you have to have a BKB and you can only hit in your ult. I think like those are the games where I will have to go refresher. That was my first troll loss in a while. I hadn't lost on troll in quite some time. That was the first time I played against an ultra hard counter though. With the OD. But yeah, these games have not really been enjoyable. I'm pretty frustrated and low energy today. I could play one more, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna call it a night. On a bit of a losing streak right now. Not doing too hot. Combination of some pretty bad teammates and my mentality taking a plunge a bit. We're gonna refocus a bit and try to come back strong tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll be back online tomorrow. See you guys later.